The last time these two teams met in the regular season, both needed a win for a playoff berth. But the New York Sack Exchange got to Lynn Dickey 9 times, and Green Bay managed only 84 net yards. Mark Gastineau had him there. But now, in addition to all-pro receivers John Jefferson and James Lofton, Green Bay has Eddie Lee Ivory, healthy, ready to go, an added dimension to the Green Bay offense. Ivory and fullback Jerry Ellis will see a lot of action this afternoon. Lately, the New York Jets have been doing everything right. Last week against Baltimore, Freeman McNeil rushed for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the bread and butter people for the Jets offense are still Richard Todd to Wesley Walker. Walker's caught 12 passes. Today, it's the undefeated Packers versus the 2-1 Jets here on CBS.
CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the Green Bay Packers against the New York Jets.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. We hope that you've had a very enjoyable Thanksgiving weekend. We're at Shea Stadium, almost ideal conditions. The temperature will be in the 40s. The grass field is in perfect shape. And a good-sized crowd is on hand. Let's check the standings, see where these people are. Green Bay and Washington leading the way in the NFC. In the AFC, the Jets are hot on the trail of the undefeated teams, Miami, Pittsburgh, and the Raiders. I'm Jack Buck, and it's a pleasure to be working with Hank Stram. Hank, I know you and I will both be disappointed if this is not one of the best games we've seen all year.
Yeah, I think it's a great matchup, Jack, and I think we'll see an excellent game. One thing that everybody is questioning is whether or not the offensive line of the Green Bay Packers can handle the sack exchange, even though Joe Klecko is not playing. Last year they had 9 sacks in the game and won the game 28-3. I don't think that'll be the case this afternoon.
If the wind starts howling here, it'll be quite a factor at Shea Stadium.
The defensive coordinators are hoping it's going to be a bad wind. The offensive coordinators are hoping for good weather. We'll wait and see what happens. It looks very nice and quiet right now at this particular stage of the contest, but it might come up later as we progress during the course of this game.
The Green Bay Packers are going to receive. They almost started without us. Pat Leahy will kick it off from our left to our right. And as we said, the conditions are just ideal here at Shea Stadium in New York. The deep man for Green Bay is Del Rogers. And the kick from Leahy. Deep into the end zone. And Rogers is going to try. And then he got a little good advice and decided not to run it back. The offense that we'll see for the Packers, Lynn Dickey, a quarterback, Eddie Lee Ivory and Jerry Ellis, the running backs. How about those wide receivers? James Lofton and John Jefferson. The tight end is Paul Kaufman, and he's terrific. The offensive line is Swanky, Huffman, McCarron, who starts almost every game, and Leotis Harris along with Greg Cook from the 20-yard line. High formation. Ellis and Ivory. Ivory up the middle. He got only a couple. It is very difficult to work against the front four of the Jets, and they're very consistent with their down linemen, and here they are. Gastineau, Abdul Salam, Marty Lyons, and Kenny Neal are the down men. The linebackers are Greg Buttle, Stan Blinka, and Lance Mell, and Hank wants to talk about Mell. The backs are Jackson Holmes, Troy, and Ray, and it's 2nd down and 8 for the visitors. A pass play by Dickey, and it is incomplete. They were really after Lynn Dickey as he tried to get it out to the rookie Del Rogers out of Utah. A very subtle little roll to the left, Hank, which probably helped him get a little time.
Yeah, I think what they try to do, they try to roll away from Gastineau, who they respect a great deal, but in spite of that, he's still got a lot of pressure on the quarterback, as did Abdul Salam. One thing that they have to do, I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers, the front four of the New York Jets are very outstanding, but the linebacker core is very strong, very quick and agile. They must block York to do any kind of a job of running the football this afternoon.
The extra back is in there for the Jets, and it's third down and 8. Dickey has time, throws it, caught. A first down for Green Bay inside the 40-yard line. And coming away with the ball was the rookie, Philip Epps, out of Texas Christian. That's something when you have to pay attention to Lofton and Jefferson, and then a guy like Epps gets you.
Here's an end zone shot. The pass protection is good. And he steps up into the pocket and delivers the ball right into the middle area against the zone defense. Philip Epps, who has a lot of speed, caught the ball inside, and it's a first down for the Green Bay Packers.
They're at their own 38. Motion by Jefferson. And Dickey throws long and incomplete. And he was walloped once again. He's going to see a lot of Gastineau before this day is over. That Gastineau is a wild, wild football player.
Watch Gastineau. He's a very emotional player, and he's playing on the outside of the offensive tackle. And look at what he does to Cook. Throws him to the side and gets a piece of the quarterback. What a great job by Gastineau. They're going to have to double team him. Last week they triple teamed him on some occasions, and it's very easy to understand why.
Epps is back into the game on second down from the 39. Jerry Ellis. It'll be third down and 9. Marty Lyons, number 93, was there to plug it up. It is third down and 9.
You know, I talked to Gastineau yesterday at practice, and he said, I know they're going to double team. I know they might triple team, but in spite of that, I have to be ready to make good penetration and be ready mentally to do an outstanding job. That's what he's doing so far in this game.
As you see, the Packers have been a slow starting team. It is third down and 9. Extra back is in. Johnny Lynn for New York. 3 wide receivers. Dickey throws long to the right. Lofton has it. And Lofton is inside the 20-yard line. And he fumbled the ball. And what do they call? He's out of bounds. Back up at the 25 and a first down. He's out of bounds and the play is whistled dead at the 25. It'll be a first down. Bobby Jackson covering, but James Lofton broke free and Dickey had the time to throw.
That's going to be the key, and I tell you, Glenn Dickey is a very accurate quarterback. He's completed 62% of his passes so far this season. If he has time to throw the ball, he'll get the ball to the receiver in good shape as he does right here. Look, he gets the ball to the outside. Jackson is covering on the play, but he licks Jackson on the coverage and makes a fine run down the sideline. The ball is scraped loose, but he's out of bounds.
Jefferson is to the left and Lofton to the right. Tight end is Lewis, and a sack. Well, they got him 9 times the last time they played, and they got him this time with Marty Lyons leading the way. You don't hear much about Marty Lyons, do you?
I think you're going to hear a lot more about Marty Lyons. I thought he played very well last year, and he's doing a good job so far this year. He did a good job. Number 93 that time. Number 93, the right tackle. Here's a shot from the end zone, trying to get inside, and you see Marty Lyons, number 93, coming in there to help make the tackle along with the linebacker on that side.
Hoffman, the tight end, is on the right side. And the pass over the middle is incomplete. Diving forward was Jefferson. It'll be third down coming up. Third and 9. Bobby Jackson covering there. That's a tough pattern to cover Jefferson on.
Anytime he's got room to throw the ball, it's a tough time to cover Jefferson. And you know the other thing about the Green Bay Packers, they try to change the rhythm and tempo of their passing game by throwing quickly. 3-step drops. That was a 3-step drop. 5-step drops, but they don't hold on to the ball very long.
Third down and 9 from the 24. Extra back is in for the Jets. Into the end zone, and it's caught by the rookie. A touchdown for Epps. His first NFL touchdown. Philip Epps out of TCU. How in the world do you cover those 3 who are in your picture right now?
Well, what they do, they put both outside guys, the high salary guys on the right side, and Epps is over there by himself. They double cover on the right side. Watch this from the end zone. A beautiful shot, good pass protection. He throws it right into the post area. And there you see the touchdown play. 47, Jerry Holmes is trying to cover on the play, but he's late. And it's a touchdown for the Green Bay Packers.
Stenerud is 10 out of 11. Stakowicz holds the ball. High snap. Stakowicz got it down. The kick is no good. No good. And it remains 6-0 with 11:52 remaining here in the first quarter. Well, Stenerud has missed a couple of extra points. And you see the consternation along the sideline with Walt Michaels, the head coach.
Welcome to Miller Time. It's all yours and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Oh, welcome to Miller Time. Yours and mine.
The best beer for the best time of the day. Miller High Life.
Oh, have you driven new Escort GT?
GT of the family.
Now we call your kind attention to the TR-type suspension.
Excitement hasn't been neglected, cause this unit's fuel injected. 5-speed,
Never loud, never rude. Got a winning attitude.
have you driven new Escort GT?
Have you driven a Ford lately?
First one ever for Philip Epps, a rookie out of Texas Christian in the National Football League. 24 yards.
And he's 5'9", 165 pounds, has lightning speed, and he expressed that speed on a right pattern into the post for the touchdown.
He ran away from the cornerback, Jerry Holmes.
I think the common feeling is that the Jets have a very good defensive line and linebackers. I think commonly they feel that the secondary is suspect.
Stone picks it up on the 14. He's to the 25 and near the 30-yard line. The ball is marked out at the 29 of New York, so the Green Bay Packers say at the outset, take that. We're 3-0, and that's why we're 3-0. Here's the Jets offense for you with Richard Todd, the quarterback, Freeman McNeil, and Mike Augustiniak, the running backs, Lamb Jones, Wesley Walker, the wide receivers. The tight end is Jerome Barkham with Ward, Waldemore, Fields, Alexander, and Powell up front for the Jets. At their own 29, Barkham sets up as a wing.
One thing they want to do, they want to control Douglas, number 53.
7 good yards for Freeman McNeil, who, for the very first time, over a period of time, is hale and hearty, and he is something.
He's got a lot of confidence, but as I mentioned earlier, they want to control Douglas, number 53, and they did a good job on the first play.
Butler, Jones, and Johnson are playing the three-man front for Green Bay. Their 4 linebackers are Anderson, Wingo, Cumbie, and Mike Douglas. Watch Douglas if you get a chance. The deep backs are Lee McCoy, Gray, and Harvey.
The last time they had 2 tight ends on the same side to control Douglas, and did a good job in the process.
Second down and 3. A toss to McNeil, and he is hit by Johnson. And Ezra wraps him up, and he gained about 1.5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1. The flag goes down, the first flag of the day. While they check it out, let me tell you that the referee is Gordon McCarter. The umpire is Ron Botchin. Head linesman, Tom Johnson. Jack Petty, the line judge. Back judge, J.W. Sanders. Dean Look. The side judge and the field judge is Pat Millett. And we have a call against the Jets. A procedure call. It would have been 3rd and 1, so Green Bay probably will accept the penalty. Still talking it over, and now they mark it off. The offensive line for the Jets is a very experienced and very intelligent line, Hank.
Illegal formation. Jets repeat second down.
Second down and 8.
And talking about both teams, we talked to both coaches, Walt Michaels and also Bart Starr, both of whom are very impressed with their teams and think they're going to have a great year.
Second down and 8. Pops it out beyond the 35. It is complete. It'll be third and short. And hauling the ball in is Freeman McNeil, who is capable of catching the ball as well as running with it.
Last year he was hurt so much that he did, and they took him out a lot of the times on passing situations. They're keeping him in this year, and he has really done an excellent job.
You saw that Houston lead over New England. There was Earl Campbell for 1 yard and a touchdown. Third down and 2 now for the Jets at their 37. And the first down carry by Augustiniak. Mark Lee tackled it. Augustiniak is a journeyman, workman-like back, a good blocker, nothing flashy, but he gets the job done.
Yeah, he's a goal line runner, runs straight ahead, but he's a tough guy, and he makes things happen. Here's a good picture of it from ground level. Here you see him going straight ahead. There's a nice seam there with Scott Durking leading the play, 2 Purdue backs. Durking from Purdue and also Augustiniak, both of whom play their collegiate football at Purdue University.
Wesley Walker is to the left. Larkin is on a wing. 2 tight ends. Todd rolls left and throws. Caught by Walker. First down. And he is out at the Green Bay 45. How do you stop that one?
You better get a better pass rush. That's how you stop it. They didn't have any kind of a rush that time. There was plenty of time to throw. Here's the shot on the left side, isolation. Wesley Walker coming off the ball without anybody touching him. Plenty of room. McCoy is back deep, worried about the deep pattern. They throw in front for the big first down.
So the Jets have overcome a penalty and pick up a first down at the Green Bay 44. Wide receiver Lamb Jones is to the right. Tight end on the right side. Freeman McNeil, good blocking. He got 5 snappy yards to the 39. Field goal by Mick Luckhurst, and the Falcons go ahead of St. Louis 3-0 in the first quarter. Here we have no score, or excuse me, 7-0, 6-0 Green Bay, with 8:30 left in the first quarter and the clock running. Second and 5 Jets. 6-0 Green Bay. Goes left. Barkham lines up as a wing. The other tight end is Mickey Schuler. Here's a pass play by Todd over the middle, long caught, first down inside the 25 of Green Bay. With the ball, Wesley Walker again, and Wingo covering, another first down.
Here's an isolation shot. Watch to the outside, going straight down the field, breaking to the inside. Walker making the catch. They're in a zone that time with no pressure whatsoever on the quarterback, and that's the key. If you let Todd or Dickey stand back there and throw the ball, you're going to give those defensive backs a headache all afternoon.
Todd has completed 57% of his passes coming in. Walker's to the left along with Lamb Jones. First down pass. And he airs it out, and it is incomplete to the tight end. Green Bay had ample coverage over there, and I don't think that Todd should have thrown the ball there, Hank.
He threw it, but he threw it wisely. He threw it to the outside where there would not be an interception. Had he thrown it inside, it might have been an interception because they were double cover. Douglas, number 53, the linebacker, who blitzes an awful lot from the weak side, put the pressure on Todd and made him throw, falling away.
Douglas is something out of San Diego State. He's number 53 on defense. He'll be in your picture a lot.
And that's a key. They have to get a scheme and a package to make sure they block him.
On the Green Bay 23, second and 10. Left, Lamb Jones right. And it is incomplete, and a fine defensive play was made. He tried to get it to Barkham, and it was bumped away by Rich Wingo, the linebacker, number 50.
Again, they had double coverage on the outside people. A linebacker, when the tight end makes an inside release, has to cover him man for man. He did that time and did a good job. Talking about Rich Wingo, number 50.
7:15 left in the first quarter, 3rd and 10. Green Bay took the opening kickoff, marched down, got a touchdown, missed the extra point, and the Jets have a crucial 3rd down play. The extra back, Estes Hood, is in on defense.
And there's Walt Michaels. We had a good visit with Walt yesterday, and again, I think he's done a great job of bringing his club along, especially after the strike. He didn't work him very hard. They didn't hit it all in practice.
Here's a long one, and it is caught for a touchdown. Liam Jones. He spun his man around. The extra back, Estes Hood, that we told you about, had come into the game, and Jones spun him around like a top, and it's 6-6. A 23-yard touchdown pass.
Here's an end zone shot of it. Todd Douglas blitzing up the middle, 53. He throws the ball on the outside. And Lamb Jones makes the catch on Estes Hood, who has turned around on the play, lost the ball completely. We're in a zone coverage. He was not watching the ball. He was involved in covering the man and lost the ball, and for that reason was a touchdown.
And the Jets missed the extra point try. Pat Leahy misses. And it is 6-6 with 7:09 remaining in the first quarter. Well, don't tell me we're going to have one of those games here today.
If you want it,
I like it.
if you really like it,
I really like it.
we can help you get it. We're GMAC.
I want it.
GMAC Financing.
Looking for value? It's here. It's your GM dealer. So pick out your new GM car or truck and get GMAC financing at rates that make good sense.
Now at participating GM dealers, get low 10.9 financing on new 82 models.
We got it.
If you want to know just where you stand on all your family insurance, check with State Farm.
I'm State Farm Agent Terry Crop. Today's changing economy is affecting a lot of people's protection. That's why families and individuals alike feel so reassured when they get the State Farm Family Insurance Checkup. It doesn't cost anything, and we'll go over your life, health, home, and car insurance. Ask a State Farm agent about the Family Insurance Checkup.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
71 yards, 9 plays, and a critical 3rd down completion along the way by Todd. And we have a 6-6 game. Hank, has either team tipped their hand as to what their approach is? Anything different than you expected?
Well, both teams came into the game running the ball more than they threw the ball. And in this game, I think they're concerned about the fact that there's no wind and they better throw while they have a chance. And that might be some of the thinking involved in the game so far.
Rodgers returns, but only to the 20-yard line. Next Sunday in the NFL and on CBS, let's check some of the games. The NFL today will start things off, and the Vikings, they'd better get started pretty soon. We'll take on Miami, and Tampa Bay will be at New Orleans. One of the rivalries in the NFL, Dallas and Washington, they're in D.C. next Sunday, and Atlanta will be playing at Denver. Hank Stram and I will be there. Check your local listing. It all starts with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time on CBS. Ricky has Ellis and Ivory in the backfield. First down pass, screen, caught by Ivory. Couple of blocks, and good defense by the middle linebacker, Stan Blinken. He went right over the top to make the tackle.
One thing that Green Bay has done extremely well coming into the game is to throw screen passes. They employ different kinds of formations to get the screens run. That time they threw a screen from play action pass, and it looked like the linebacker that time was playing man for man, and Blinken, number 54, did a great job of making the play on the screen pass.
New England has caught Houston 7-7 there in the first quarter. And Cincinnati jumps ahead of the Raiders 7-0. 2nd and 7. And the rookie Rodgers comes across the 25. It'll be 3rd down and 3 with Lance Mel, the tackler. Close-up look at Bart Starr. By the way, he's going to be a grandfather in a few weeks. Bart Jr. is down in Alabama. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited. They put in the third wide receiver. They take the tight end out. When they take that tight end out, look at that score with Washington ahead of Philadelphia 3-0 in the first quarter. When they take that tight end out, it makes Dickey vulnerable. His pass is incomplete and a flag is thrown. The flag is thrown against Johnny Lynn. He was on the back of the receiver. It'll be a first down.
Yeah, I think he had the hook on him that time with as he tried to make the play. Johnny Lynn, number 29. They had both outside receivers, Lofton and Jefferson on the left side, Epps on the right side. And boy, I tell you, that's a tough combination.
Lofton was the intended receiver, and Lynn climbed all over.
Pass interference, defense, first down.
Here's a shot of it from the end zone. There you see Dickey back into the pocket, throwing inside, and there you see Lynn. He got the hook with his left hand on his back. But definitely pass interference. A good call by the official. Johnny Lynn, number 29.
Jack Fetty, the official, who threw the flag. It's first down. Lofton left, Jefferson in motion. Here's the reverse to Jefferson. He got 5 yards to the 37.
Talking to Bob Schnelker before the game, he indicated that they would use a reverse to the split inside, which is something they haven't done. Look at this, St. Louis 7, Atlanta 3.
Hank, Lance Mel made that last tackle. I know you want to talk about him, the New York linebacker.
Well, all the linebackers are playing very well for the New York Jets, but talking to Walt Michaels, he was just ecstatic about the play of Mel. Said he's playing at an all-pro pace and is very excited about it. Here you see him, number 56, Lance Mel, who is doing a great job so far for the New York Jets.
Second down and 5, and the fullback Ellis got about 3. It'll be third down and 2. He was straightened up by Marty Lyons and Lance Mel. It'll be third and 2.
I mentioned this earlier, Jack. The one thing that you have to do a good job of when you run against the Jets, you must block those linebackers. And so far, they haven't done a good job of blocking the linebackers against the run.
We have 4:20 left in the first quarter. Clock running. We're tied 6-6. Eddie Lee Ivory is back in there. 3 wide receivers, including Philip Epps for the Green Bay Packers. And the tight end is out. The extra back is in, Johnny Lynn. Third and 2. 2.5, actually. Ellis did not, on his second effort, appears to have made it for him. Yeah, he made it. Ellis gets the first down. They stopped the clock with 3:53 left in the first quarter. Hank, when they take that tight end out and put in the third wide receiver, it really puts the pressure on the offensive line of Green Bay.
Yes, it really does. But that time they ran a trap inside. The trapping away from the Jets like to use a gap defense, and they trap away from the guy in the gap. That time they made enough yardage for the first down. I think also they must trap Gastineau because he plays outside. You have to draw inside of him and trap him if you're going to run to that side with any degree of success.
They're at the Green Bay 42. First down.
You must throw play-action passes to hold those linebackers too, Jack.
Here is Eddie Lee Ivory. He was tripped up by Abdul Salam and then covered after gaining a couple of yards. 3:20 left in the first quarter. 6-6 the game. After being tripped up by Salam, he was covered by Lance Mel. If an Ivory breaks loose, you'll see some sparks.
There will be a big scorch mark on the green grass because he can fly.
Second down and 8.
The tight end or one of the backs should be there.
Screen pass. Kaufman did a good job, a beautiful job, and he comes out to midfield. It's going to be third down and 2.5 after Mel made the tackle. What a good job Kaufman did.
Yes, he did, and it was a screen pass up the middle, but the middle area was vulnerable because they were in double coverage, double covering the outside receiver. Here we see it again. Watch Dickey go back into the pocket. You see number 54 Blinkett go back into his coverage. And Kaufman really does a fantastic job of making a play. That kind of a ball, you have to throw at the numbers because it takes an awful lot of time for the tight end to readjust his pattern and get up the field.
3rd and 2, a busted play, and Dickey gets a first down. Dickey came to the 47 on a busted play. It was busted, wasn't it, Hank?
Yes, it was, and he was very wise to follow the back end of the designated hole. That's the place to go. He had enough presence to do that. Anytime there's a bad exchange, make sure as a quarterback you go where the blocking is, and that's exactly what he did.
The tackler was Mark Gastineau. The Jets can't stop him. Jets have been unable to stop him.
And especially if they continue to throw the ball well. Look at this, Washington 3, Philadelphia nothing.
Mostly a field goal, and the NFL Today next Sunday, and Dallas and the Redskins will be meeting. We'll see it on CBS on all of these stations. First down, Dickey. Screen again. They're not bashful, are they? Kaufman again. Down the sideline. Kaufman has a first down inside the 35. Stan Blinka, the tackler, the middle linebacker. Well, if it works, why not do it again?
Well, they feature this an awful lot. Bob Schnelker likes reverses. He's their offensive coordinator. He likes reverses. He likes screens. Watch this from ground level. Watch Gastineau now from up the field. You couldn't get a good picture of it, but Cook out in front makes a good block, and Kaufman goes inside of that block and picks up a nice gain on the play.
50 seconds left in the first quarter. We're tied 6-6. First down at the New York 33. Eddie Lee Ivory. Big work first by Blinka, the middle linebacker, who came roaring through there. And then Ken Schroy, the strong safety. Cincinnati continues to lead the Los Angeles Raiders 14-0 now, still in the first quarter. And frequently a team will run a screen or reverse once in a while. Green Bay, if it works for them, they'll run it time and time again.
And that's what you should do. You have the screen pass. A lot of people have the mistaken impression that the only time you run a screen pass is when you have a long yardage and it has to be a big play. As long as you make 4 or more yards on a screen pass, why, it's a very efficient play.
The end of the first quarter has come about. When we resume, it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Packers at the New York Jets 33-yard line. Each team has had a touchdown, each on a pass play, and each has missed the extra point.
This place is real special. We wouldn't trade one of our days up here for anything, except maybe for one of our nights.
Welcome to Miller Time. It's all yours, and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You got the time, we got the beer. For what you have in mind. Welcome to Miller Time.
The best beer for the best time of the day. Miller High Life.
Bring your thirsty self right here. You got the time, we got the beer. For what you had in mind. Oh, welcome. You know you're welcome. Welcome. Everybody's welcome. Welcome to Miller Time. Yours and mine.
Jackie Stewart, consultant to the Ford Motor Company.
Ford are just entering a new era, stepping over a new threshold altogether in engineering. You've got more innovation, microchip electronics, you've got handling, you've got aerodynamics. I think America is on the threshold of a completely new era of technology.
And Ford has it now.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time.
There are not many no-shows here at Shea Stadium in New York, and this crowd, as you can hear, is very enthusiastic. We're all struck out, the players say. Players, owners, fans, and media. And this crowd seems to have forgotten the strike. We're right back to normalcy here in a good game.
I think it helps an awful lot when a team is successful, like both of these teams are, Green Bay being 3-0 and the Jets being 2-1.
Second down and 10 for Green Bay at the New York 33. Jefferson to the right and Lofton to the left, and three backs, including Kaufman, who now goes in motion. Dickey on second down. He stumbles and falls after rolling out of the pocket. Pressure on by Marty Lyons and Mark Gastineau. It'll be third down and 14.
That time they had the tight end in the backfield. Kaufman went in motion to the right side. Dickey does not like to take a deep drop, and for that reason, he got a little penetration from the defensive line and got tangled up and was sacked on the play.
He's not a very good runner.
No, he isn't. He's had a lot of injuries, and he has to throw from the pocket, and that's why they use him very, very well. They make him throw from 3-step drop, 5-step drops, and that's a very effective way to avoid getting sacked.
Baltimore hasn't won, and they're trailing Buffalo 3-0 in the first quarter. Third down and 14. The intended receiver, Bobby Jackson, covering him, and as Jefferson made his cut, his feet went out from under him, and it's punting time for Green Bay.
They double covered Jefferson that time again. He made an outside move and slipped in the process, but it was a tough place to throw the football because they were double covering the outside receivers again, which they're doing so much of the time.
We're early in the second quarter, 11:42, or 14:21 remaining in the half. Ray Stackowitz will punt the ball. His average is 44 yards a kick. And Bruce Harper stands at his 10. Good snap by Rubens. Trying for the sideline. It goes into and out of the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. So the Jets will get the ball. They scored the last time they had it. 14-13 left in the half, and we're deadlocked at 6.
It's all yours, and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Oh, welcome to Miller Time, yours and mine.
The best beer for the best time of the day. Miller High Life.
Introducing the totally new 1983 Toyota Tercel. Its front-wheel drive is only the tip of the iceberg. This Tercel is the lowest-priced Toyota you can buy. It has more room than any other subcompact and gives you more mileage than ever before. The new Toyota Tercel. It's a new standard in front-wheel drive, but that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Tercel!
The Jets have the ball at their own 20-yard line. We had a 24-yard pass to Philip Epps for Green Bay and a 23-yard pass to Lane Jones. And we're 6-6. We have 14-13 remaining in the half, and this is the second time the Jets have had the ball. Have you ever seen this playing field in a better condition?
Never have. It's beautiful.
That's because the Mets didn't run the bases very much this year. Markham and Schulter are two tight ends. McNeil, the tailback. He has it. And down he goes. He lost a yard or so. And Terry Jones, the nose guard, stayed right with him. And now for an NFL Today report. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Jack, the St. Louis Cardinals have struck again. It's O.J. Anderson out of the I formation, just outrunning the Atlanta defense 14-3. Let's go back now to Jack and Hank.
A face mask violation was called against the Green Bay Packers. Barry Jones made the tackle. I don't know if he was the one with the infraction, but the yard is going to be marked off against Green Bay. A big one, isn't it? Out to the 35.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 59 defense. First and 10.
The call was against the linebacker, John Anderson. Now that could Now, that could have been a 5-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty. They gave him the big one.
Here you see McNeil starting inside, going outside, and a great job by Terry Jones.
But Anderson came along, reached out and grabbed it. Todd a screen to Walker. And he is bumped out by the corner, Mike McCoy.
Walker did not do a good job that time of waiting for the lineman to get out in front so he could cut behind. They were coming from the inside out. The receiver must wait and then break inside and get up the field as fast as he possibly can. That kind of a play, Jack, is usually very difficult for an exceptionally fast receiver because sometimes they do not have enough patience to wait for that block to set up.
Second down and 7. Is caught by Walker, and it'll be third down and a yard. Mike McCoy couldn't bat it away. Third down and a yard. Little square out pattern.
Both quarterbacks have been very efficient, very effective. One team has thrown for 62%, talking about the Green Bay Packers, and the New York Jets have thrown for 58%, but both teams have thrown the ball quickly and avoiding the possibility of a rush.
Third down and 1. Durkin gets it. He got it by about a half a yard. Scott Durkin went over the top for a first down. He's a good back.
Yeah, he's short and solid and weighs about 225. He's a little heavier than he has been in the past, but he's a very effective short yardage runner, a tough and a very good blocker along with it.
We have 13:30 left in the half. We're tied 6-6. First down for New York at their own 46. Walker to the left. Lamb Jones goes to the right. Barkham, the tight end, lines up on the right side. Freeman McNeil. 9 yards. 9 yards down to the 45 of Green Bay.
Here's an end zone shot. Freeman McNeil, a trap block. Look at number 60, Alexander. Does an excellent job on the middle linebacker, Wingo. And for that reason, they're able to get through there in pretty good shape and pick up a nice gain on the play.
Inside linebacker George Cumby was there, along with Mike Douglas.
And Alexander is an excellent puller and doesn't get nearly the recognition that he deserves.
Well, this is a tough defense for Green Bay. 2nd and 1. He may throw it here. Reverse. Jones picks it up, and he's tackled for a big loss on the play by Douglas. A reverse, but they tossed the ball to him, and the ball was dropped, and Jones picked it up.
That kind of a play is a feast or famine kind of a play, Jack. It could wind up being a big play, and what happened this time, they just blew the exchange. Really, the quarterback didn't get the ball out in front of McNeil far enough. He had to reach behind, fumble the ball, and they're lucky they didn't cough it up.
I think that was a strange call on 2nd and 1, wasn't it?
Well, it was strange only because it didn't work, Jack. If it would have worked, it'd have been a great call. You know how those things are.
Third down and 7 as a result. 3-man rush. Incomplete. Todd zipped it over the middle at the last moment, and it's time for the Jets to do the punting.
And Walker was open in the middle area. We can see it a lot easier from up here, Jack. Look at this, Chicago over Minnesota, 7-0. And I think the Chicago team is going to go on and enjoy good success from here on in. I think they made a decision on the quarterback, and the young kid from BYU, McMahon, is going to do an excellent job. And I think they've got a good enough defense where they could be very effective as a football team.
Chuck Ramsey has averaged about 39 yards a kick. Philip Epps is the deep man as 3 receivers go back. Johnny Gray flanks him back there. Low snap. A flag goes down. Oh, a dandy punt by Ramsey. Bounces inside the 5, goes into the end zone. We've got to check the flag. It probably was an ineligible man downfield because of the quickness with which the flag was thrown. Jets, and Green Bay will make them kick it over. Won't they?
They get the ball in the 20 the way it is.
Yeah, they're gonna take the ball.
Yeah, I think maybe they're fearful that he might kick it out of bounds and it'd be in the suit.
Illegal formation. Offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Penalty declined. 1st and 10 on the 20.
In football, you've got to have at least 7 men on the line of scrimmage. Green Bay has it at their own 20. We have 11 and a half minutes left in the half.
What you're about to see is the total car. Introducing a new generation American sedan. Reshaped inch by aerodynamic inch. Refined. Totally redesigned from the ground up with new gas-filled shocks. Introducing new Ford LTD, the total car. Now appearing at your Ford dealer.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
It's going to be a great trip. Ooh, hey, hi. Have a good trip.
No matter where people go, Conoco helps them get there. Our motor oils protect trucks over the long haul and farm equipment against the worst conditions.
Have a good trip.
A Conoco lubricant even protects the space shuttle. We use the same technology to make super and all-season motor oils for your car. Conoco, hottest brand going.
It's one of college football's greatest traditions, the Army-Navy game. Be a part of the classic next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Well, it has rolled around again, the traditional Army-Navy game. And believe it or not, since they started to play in 1890, the Navy holds a 1-game lead over the Army. The NCAA today kicks off the action at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's next Saturday on CBS Sports. Army and Navy. First down, Green Bay at their 20-yard line. Ellis and Ivory in the backfield. Lynn Dickey, the quarterback. Ivory slanting left. Couple of yards, and he is driven back. Well, Green Bay got the ball and scored. Next time they had the ball, they punted. Now they have it for the 3rd time. The Jets scored the first time they had it. Now let's join Brent Musburger in New York.
Man, the Bear rookie. Watch him pull out. Emory Moorhead busts upfield. They read the blitz beautifully. A 50-yard touchdown pass for Chicago. They lead it, and now let's go back to Jack Buck and Hank Schramm.
Yards for Eddie Lee Ivory. Jefferson to the left, Lofton to the right. Dickey on the delay to Ellis. Whoa, whacked down at the 25. Hank, it looked like at the outset, if he'd come right straight outside, he'd had a big game.
Gastineau was way outside that time, Jack, and he came straight up the field. They ran inside of him, but by the time the back got into the hole, Gastineau recovered and made the tackle. He has excellent speed, 4.58 speed, and in the superstar work, he beat Billy Sims in a 100-yard sprint, so that tells you how fast he is. But that was a remarkable play by Gastineau on the run.
3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5. Green Bay's been a hot 3rd down club. Dickey rolling. Screens it back the other way. Kaufman is hit and tackled. Jerry Holmes read it, came up and hit him, and Green Bay will have to punt.
One thing so far, I think overall, why the Jets have done a good job of reading the screens. What they're doing, I think, Jack, is they're using a zone defense. Here's a replay of it. Watch it. They fake to Ellis, roll to the right, and then throw back away from the grain. But watch Jerry Holmes, number 47. He's the cop on the play. He's the policeman. He took a sniff, and he's found him in good shape.
Bruce Harper and Kurt Sohn are the twin safeties. The punt by Stakowitz is second of the day. Good kick. Well covered. Harper at the 25. 30. A flag goes down, and Harper goes down at about the 32. We have 9:07 left in the half. We won't have to deal with the flag. He was down at the New York 33-yard line by Harlan Huckleby. so they'll kick it again. There's Bart Starr. Boy, he lived through a lot of heat, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and he's handled it very well, and he feels very good about his team, and justifiably so. They're 3-0, and I think that as I mentioned in several other occasions, I think the committee in Green Bay did an excellent job of making a decision to keep Bart and let him continue with his program, because I think he'll eventually get it done.
Stakowitz, who played at Michigan State, will kick again. Harper on your left, Kurt Sohn on your right. The line of scrimmage is still the same, the 19-yard line. Almost blocked, and a flag. A flag has been thrown. Harper caught the ball. All of this is for naught, because the play will come back, and Green Bay will have a first down because they ran into the kicker.
Actually, Jack, had he been out in front of the kicker a little bit more, he'd have blocked the kick. He got too deep, and that's why he roughed him up.
We're talking about Darrell Ray. He broke through there, but had the wrong angle.
Wrong angle, number 28, Darrell Ray. Had he come across about a yard and a half in front of the kicker, he'd have blocked it easily. But he took the wrong angle and wound up with a penalty on the play.
A penalty and an automatic first down. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's at the 29 of Green Bay.
Personal foul, running into the kicker, number 28, defense, automatic first down.
Here's another good shot of it. Darrell Ray, number 28. Watch him. He does not take the proper angle, you see, and for that reason he runs into the foot of the kicker.
They have two penalties. One is roughing the kicker, and the other, this one, running into the kicker. 5 yards. Jefferson in motion. Here is the handoff to Ivory on a fake reverse, and he's good for about 4 or 5 yards. Kenny Neal, the defensive end, made the tackle.
Eddie Lee Ivory is given a dimension they haven't had. St. Louis 14-6 over Atlanta. That's kind of a surprise, Jack.
All right, 2 field goals by Luckhurst, and now the Raiders are coming back as they did on Monday night. They trailed 14-10 against Cincinnati. Ball at the 34. 2nd and 5. And Rodgers got only a couple. The rookie Del Rogers brings about 3rd and 3. Mark Gastineau was there to tackle him. They love him here in New York.
I can understand why. Here's Gastineau, Gastineau 99, uses his hands well against Cook. Look what he does. He throws him to the ground and comes inside and makes the tackle. What a fantastic play. But a defensive end has to use his hands like he did on that last play, and that's why he enjoyed the success of getting to the tackle.
And then the other end, Kenny Neal came along and really popped him. 3rd down and 3. Incomplete. He underthrew it to John Jefferson, who was trying to come back for the ball. So after running into the kicker and losing the ball back to Green Bay, Dickey misses on the 3rd down pass. Jerry Holmes was covering Jefferson, and Gastineau was after Lynn Dickey. Buffalo ahead of Baltimore, 2nd quarter, 10-0. Stakowitz to kick. Same deep men. Bruce Harper and Kurt Sohn. Sohn to the right, Harper to the left.
I think one thing you have to do against a guy like Gastineau, you've got to keep a tight end on his side. You have to use a wingback on his side sometimes. Use double tight end sometimes. But you got to control him, or else he's going to really be murder all afternoon.
Line drive kick. Harper on the 25. Good coverage downfield, and a good tackle was made. Harlan Huckabee makes his 2nd downfield tackle, and the ball will be at the New York 26-yard line. We have 7 minutes, 25 seconds left in the half, and we're tied.
Pawlatuck, the Arctic Circle. The winters can be 10 months long and 50 below. So people stay home and watch a lot of TV. Maybe that's why the Takiak family chose the only TV to win an Emmy for its beautiful picture, the Sony Trinitron. But maybe the Takiaks chose a Sony because the nearest TV repairman is 250 miles away.
GMC's economical S15, our new small truck, has some news that's definitely big. The new GMC S15 Club Coupe with extra carrying space inside. Then there's the S15 Long Bed with its roomier cargo box. And the new sports-minded GMC S15 Jimmy. All available with Instatrack 4-wheel drive and V6 power. GMC's S15.
On new 82 GMC Light Duties, 10.9 annual percentage rate financing to qualified buyers. Take retail delivery now through December 31st.
Well, the screen tells the picture. 7:25 left in the half, tied 6-6. Each team missed an extra point. Jets have the ball at their own 26-yard line. First down. After a Mosley field goal, Joe Theismann hit Charlie Brown. 65 yards, 10-0 Washington early in the second quarter. Freeman McNeil fumbled the ball, but the whistle had blown the play dead. And the Jets gained a couple of yards on the little swing pass. Rich Wingo, number 50, was there covered. Well, this season is going to be a short one, as you know, and a lot of important games next Sunday. It starts with the NFL Today on CBS, then Minnesota at Miami, Tampa Bay at New Orleans, or you'll watch Dallas at Washington and Atlanta at Denver. Some good matchups, Henry, next week.
Excellent game.
2 yards by McNeil. It'll be third down and about a foot. Casey Merrill, the defensive end, and Mike Douglas was there. Douglas is the leading tackler on the Green Bay team.
Here's an end zone shot. McNeil, nice seam inside. He gets a good look at it, takes advantage of it, and makes a nice gain on the play. Freeman McNeil. We talked to Freeman at practice the other day, and he said he feels very comfortable this year. He's injury-free, and I think any time that you feel comfortable, you're going to be confident, and that's exactly the kind of a player he is and has been so far this season.
Scott Durking is in the backfield. There's a quarterback sneak, and it's good enough for a first down by about a foot. Richard Todd gets a first down. The ball is at the New York 37, and let's join Brent Musburger in New York.
Jack, here is that Redskin touchdown. 65 yards now. Theismann to Charlie Brown. Brown has scored in every Redskin game this year so far. He's out of South Carolina A&T. Let's go back to Jack Buck.
We have 5:25 left in the half here. Markham in motion. Good coverage over there across the way. They tried to get the ball out to the tight end, Jerome Portman. Johnny Gray was right there.
Both teams have excellent linebacking, and for that reason, we can anticipate seeing a lot of play-action passes to hold the linebackers. Look at this New England score, 17-7 over Houston. Boy, what a surprise that is.
And they're in the second quarter. Here we have 5:14 left in the half. Second and 10, Jets. Is in for New York, the wide receiver. Barkin simply dropped the ball. Went off his fingertips. The 11-year veteran couldn't hang on. A pretty good throw by Todd.
It was. He was running for his life that time. Had to escape from the pocket. Got the ball out there to Barkin, but he couldn't hold on.
Rich Wingo was after the quarterback. Let's see if he had a real good shot at catching this ball.
It might have been a little high. Let's take a look at it. Here he rolls to the right. He had to reach a little bit, but it was catchable, I thought.
Third and 10 for the Jets.
Of course, I don't like those gloves. I don't think he catches the ball near as well with gloves on as you do without them.
Bobby Jones is the added receiver now for New York. Wayne Jones and Wesley Walker.
Look for something inside to a back.
And a sack by Johnson. He just kept storming through, and the Jets have to punt. That was third down.
Boy, he got through there like it was a screen pass, like nobody blocked him. Ezra Johnson, number 90, got through in great shape. Good penetration. Todd goes back into the pocket, and watch Johnson. Here he comes. He Chris Ward, number 72, the offensive tackle, the great offensive tackle from Ohio State.
Chuck Ramsey will kick, and Philip Epps is the safety man. Epps is standing at his 35. Ramsey hangs it high. Pretty good coverage. Fair catch. There's a good point we can make right here as Epps takes it on his 33. You could see what happened when he called for a fair catch. The downfield man stayed away from him. Not at all like it was on Thanksgiving.
Of all the economy cars in America, many have front-wheel drive traction. But of all those front-wheel drive cars, only these 4 have a flat engine profile with an extremely low center of gravity for outstanding handling and traction. And every single one of them is a Subaru. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
An extra point, and we've had a scoreless second quarter to this point. Green Bay has the ball at their own 33. First down. Jefferson comes to the right. James Lofton to the left. Tight end is on the right side. Dickie Long and Jefferson. He caught the ball, and he goes to the New York 42. A first down. Ken Troy trying to cover on the play. They kept the tight end over Gastineau, as you said, Hank.
Yes, they did. There was a play-action pass that time. End zone shot. Good faking. Throws the ball right inside over the middle to Jefferson, who makes the catch. Troy, number 48, finally makes the tackle. Watch Gastineau. They double-dip him this time with a tight end in the offensive tackle, and he stays on the line of scrimmage. A great shot, but that's what they have to do. They have to have the double teaming. They've got to trap inside, or they got to use a wingback on that side.
Here's a screen to the left. Caught by Ivory. He slips down, gets up. He's inside the 35. The ball comes loose. They haven't given it to New York yet, but if they do, it'll be Neal recovering the fumble. And they indicate that New York has it. The big hit by Gastineau, the fumble recovery by Kenny Neal.
Watch, they fake to Ivory, number 40, and then throw to the outside. Screen pass. He slips and falls with the ball in the wrong arm, gets hit from the inside. The ball is knocked loose, and they recover, and Gastineau makes the catch.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Congratulations, you coached a pretty mean game.
Well, I had a pretty good teacher.
Did it teach you the part about the winning coach buying the loan, Brown?
You got it.
Give me 10 minutes. I've got to go yell at my players.
When you want the taste.
You can get a Subaru hatchback with either front-wheel drive or on-demand four-wheel drive. Either way, the most important drive they put you on is in economy drive, with low sticker prices and the kind of mileage that lets you feed your family instead of your car. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Tuesday on CBS, a beautiful agent and a sadistic prison warden turn the tables on Frank Buck.
You're the hunted, Mr. Buck.
Bring him back alive.
Gastineau the hit. Neal the recovery. The ball at the New York 34 with 3:43 left in the half. We're tied 6-6. Jets had to punt the last time they had the ball. Lane Jones is to the left. And the upback carries. The fullback comes across the 40-yard line. Tackle by Wingo. Once again, let's joined Brent Musburger.
Jack, here's Minnesota's tying touchdown against Chicago. It is a slot left. The slot man, Sammy White, will take it 5 yards out from Tommy Kramer, and they're dead even at 7. Let's go back now to Jack Buck and Hank Stram.
Augustiniak got 8 yards on that carry. The ball is at the New York 42.
They used a double tight end offense that time, Jack, and got a good surge and came off the ball in good shape.
A delay to McNeil. He fumbled the ball but got it back and then lost about 2 yards. Great penetration by Green Bay. 2:50 left in the half. Richard Turner, the nose guard. Rich Wingo there on McNeil. 3rd down and 5 for New York.
Both teams have excellent linebackers, Douglas, Cumbie, Wingo, and Anderson, the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, on the other side of the football on defense, you get Buttle, Blink, and Mel. All of whom are doing a good job.
3rd down. 4 yards to go. Extra back. Estes Hood is in for Green Bay.
They got a lot of room on this side, Jack.
4-man rush. The ball is intercepted. Back with it is Mike Douglas. Douglas, with his 2nd of the year, takes the ball to the New York 24 with 2:12 left in the half.
They had a lot of folks on that side. They had 1-on-1 on the backside here, and I really thought that's where he was going to throw the ball in that direction, but he threw it to the right side. Douglas, number 53, is at the right place at the right time. Look at it. Johnson getting pressure from the outside. He throws the ball with the anticipation of hitting somebody inside. Douglas makes the interception. Does a good job of running the football. Once he made the interception, it was finally tackled there by number 79, Marvin Powell.
Douglas is not a very big fellow, but he is really strong, and he can run. It is a 1st down for Green Bay. Kaufman in motion at the 25. And the pass is incomplete. Incomplete is the call. Hit as he got the ball. Lofton dropped it.
Darrell Ray did a great job of knocking the ball loose. He had it, didn't tuck it in fast enough, Jack, and Ray knocked it right out of his hand. A great play by Darrell Ray, number 28.
When you watch the receivers warm up, you'll see them catch the ball, put it away, and then run.
Here you see the picture again. He had it, but Ray scraped it right out of there, and it falls incomplete.
We have 2:06 left in the half. 2nd and 10 from the 25. And the big fullback, Darrell Rogers, got modest yards to the 23. It'll be 3rd down and 8, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Then Rudolph made the New York tackle.
That was a counter play that time, trying to disturb the flow of the linebackers, but they responded very well and weren't fooled on the play.
Nikon introduces a new 35mm camera so revolutionary 55,000 were sold before they were even built. It uses optics so superior they flew aboard Columbia. It operates automatically, semi-automatically, or manually. It measures light a completely new way for better flash pictures. It's so incredible it can even wake you up in the morning. Introducing the programmed Nikon FG, the ultimate 35mm camera.
If you think the U.S. ski team works hard in the winter, you should see how they spend their summers. We're Subaru, official car of the U.S. ski team. And thanks to on-demand four-wheel drive, we keep pace with them every step of the way. In fact, this team is no place for anyone or anything that doesn't have a lot of drive. Subaru, official car of the U.S. ski team.
Faced with a 3rd down and 8 at the New York 23-yard line. Coming into today's game, they had made a 1st down 16 times out of 41 tries, but they've been good today. At the halftime, we'll have a lot of action for you. Scores and updates of other games with Brent and Herb. And Tommy McDonald will be highlighted. You remember him, Hank, that little guy who could catch everything.
Number 25 from Oklahoma, and he could fly.
Those big guys used to lay him low, and he'd bounce up like nothing happened.
Looked like he was made out of rubber.
And Herb Cross, legend of the game at halftime. 3rd down. Dickey into the end zone for a touchdown.
a catch that was. And Dickey laid it up there beautifully. They double the other receivers on the other side. Holmes, here's an end zone shot. Watch Dickey. He's got plenty of time to throw the ball. Steps up into the pocket. Look at this. High over the top. Jerry Holmes is in hot pursuit. Doesn't get there in time. Touchdown. Green Bay Packers.
Having missed one extra point try, Stachowicz holding. Stenerud makes it 13-6. I knew he couldn't miss two in one game.
No way.
We have 1:54 remaining in the half. After intercepting, Green Bay winning to score.
In the past year, one car maker has been quietly fulfilling a commitment. The commitment was to build the highest quality luxury cars made in America. This commitment has now been realized by Lincoln. Makers of Continental, Lincoln Town Car, and Mark 6. Lincoln, building the highest quality luxury cars made in America.
Here's to good friends tonight.
Chicken and ribs. Chicken and ribs. Steak.
Must say something more somehow.
Chili. Homemade chili.
Good work.
Hey, wait a minute.
What did you bring besides your list? Just a little something I threw together.
I should have known. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lower Brow.
Okay, everybody, let's go win this one.
Next Saturday, the Wildcats, Villanova, led by senior star John Pannone, against the balanced attack of Kentucky. NCAA basketball action next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Yesterday, we saw great action with Missouri and North Carolina. Next Saturday, CBS Sports brings you Villanova at Kentucky. Who do you think's going to win?
I'm going to go way out on a limb, Jack, and I'm going to say the Wildcats.
Wise guy. They're both the Wildcats. That should be a dandy. Here's the kick by Stenerud. Harper and Sohn are deep. Sohn takes the ball on the 13, 20, 25, and across the 30-yard line. With 1:47 left in the half. Come on, boys. Take it easy down there, guys. It's only a game.
You can't sell them on that fact, Jack.
Downfield, Mark Murphy for Green Bay to make the tackle. That's what's happened so far today. Dickey with a hot hand, 10 out of 16, but the interception against Todd is the big item in the game because that allowed Green Bay to go on in and score. Wide open. Lamb Jones at the 48. Lamb Jones for a first down at the 48. Clock running. 1:32 remaining in the half. Maurice Harvey tackled him. Hurry up offense. First down from the 48. Sideline overthrown to Harper. Incomplete. And Harper really took a pop from Douglas, the linebacker, when he was on the ground. Douglas couldn't avoid it.
And again, the Green Bay defense is concerned about the outside receivers. Lamb Jones run an inside move that time. The time before that, made the catch. He went into the game with 7 catches. Now it's number 8. Here's Lamb Jones releasing downfield. Watch him make the inside move. Here he comes inside. Anchors in the hole. The ball is right at the numbers. Makes the catch. Good move by Lamb Jones. They try to scrape the ball loose, but to no avail. Now it's second down and 10.
At the 49 of Green Bay. Todd throws incomplete. A little too anxious to do something with the ball was Wesley Walker. He tried to make the move, Hank, before he put the ball away.
That's a good observation. That's exactly what happened. He was a little impetuous that time and tried to run before he really got it away, and it falls incomplete. But again, as I mentioned earlier, Jack, that middle area is really wide open. If they get people in the middle, they're going to complete a pass and make a first down.
Third down and 10. Green Bay leading. Undefeated Packers trying to win their 4th in a row. If they do so, it'll be their best start ever since 1966. Bart Starr was the quarterback then. 1:16 left. And now is called by New York. So they have 2 remaining. They want to make sure on this third down play. Green Bay has the lead, 13-6.
This is it. Excitement. This is your chance to get 10.9% financing on 100% pure driving excitement on all 1982 Pontiacs. 10.9% on Firebird, Pontiac 6000, T1000, Phoenix, J2000, Bonneville Model G, and Grand Prix. Excitement. But hurry, you must take retail delivery between now and December 31st to get this low 10.9% financing. At Pontiac, we build excitement.
Last year, I told you that in an independent test for Best Color Picture, the Sylvania Superset beat RCA, Zenith, and Sony.
You won't beat Sony again.
Well, this year, we again asked over 1,000 people which 19-inch TV had the best overall color picture. And more of them picked the Sylvania Superset over RCA and Zenith.
You didn't beat Sony again.
And over Sony, too.
Not this guy. Oh, no, this guy. Sylvania, Sony.
The Sylvania Superset.
If you never saw Tommy McDonald play, you're really going to enjoy the halftime show with Herb Cross, Legends of the Game, featuring Tommy McDonald. He was unbelievable, the catches he made and the way he took that punishment. And Brent and Herb will give you the scores and highlights of other games. Third down here for the Jets. Big play. The Green Bay 49. 4-man rush. Fake short, throws long. And very good defensive position by McCoy, the cornerback. Very good position on Wesley Walker.
It was a very safe play. He evidently was trying to get Walker on a big play down the sideline and felt he wanted to make sure he threw it on the outside. McCoy was with him step for step. And even at that, the ball went through. He had a chance to make the catch, but he would have been out of bounds anyway. But it was a good safe throw.
We have 1:10 remaining. And Green Bay is going to get the ball back before the halftime rolls around. Philip Epps is back to get it. Boy, he should be feeling his oats. He scored 2 touchdowns here today. A bad kick by Leahy. Out of bounds. He shanked that ball to the 25-yard line of Green Bay. So instead of pinning them back, they've got pretty good operating room.
Yes, they have, and they'll go after it, too. The other thing, talking about, we had the Green Bay Packers in the first game against the Rams, and I talked to Bart Starr before the season, and he said that if we can get Epps healthy, he could really be a dominant force in our offensive scheme of things. Everybody is so concerned about Jefferson and Lofton that it'll give us a dimension that we haven't had, and he certainly has given them that dimension that they've been seeking.
On the second touchdown, didn't they run the same play that they scored on the first time?
It was a replay. It certainly was. 1-on-1. They had a slot to the right side with Jefferson and Lofton. 1-on-1 on the other side, and they made the big play.
Here's a screen right. Needs a couple of blocks. Waited for the blocks and got a first down. A first down by Jerry Ellis, the fullback, out to the 36-yard line. Let's see if they give him the kind of forward progress that I thought he had. We have 52 seconds remaining in the half, and a timeout is called by Green Bay. They have 2 more timeouts remaining.
Her name is Deborah Crowder. She's a single parent with 2 children. Without job skills, her chances of being more than just another welfare statistic are 0.
But she's beating the odds. I'm James Lofton of the Green Bay Packers, here to thank you for giving Deborah and her children the chance in life that she needs.
Here in Milwaukee and all across the country, through your support of the United Way, the Urban League is giving people like Deborah the training and guidance they need. Today, with government programs being cut back or eliminated, the critical need for job training and employment opportunities is a basic necessity for many of the people in our communities.
So, you're helping people who want to help themselves when you support the Urban League through your One United Way contribution. So that's why I can say thanks, because thanks to you, it works.
For all of us, the United Way. Give me a kiss.
The preceding message was brought to you by the National Football League. That was a first down screen pass to Ellis to the Green Bay 36. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining in the half. Dickey is sacked. Boy, they just kept coming and coming and coming. He wanted to throw. Look at
Yeah, did you see him get off the ball that time? He licked Cook to the offensive tackle. A beautiful move. When you talk about getting off the line of scrimmage, watch Gastineau, number 99. Watch him fly to the outside. Watch Cook try to block him. No way. He spins away and maintains his course and gets a beautiful shot on the quarterback. Isn't that something?
Man, he is something. He's like a wrecking ball the way he comes through. It's second down and 19. There he is again, but he's held off this time. A flag goes down. The pass is caught by the running back, Jim Jensen. Now we'll check the flag. We got a holding call against Green Bay.
I think, who do you think it would be? If anybody, it'd be Cook, the right tackle, trying to hold Gastineau.
But there's only 7 seconds remaining in the half. They'll probably decline the penalty. Well, they're going to take it, but all Green Bay has to do is handle the ball for the remaining 7 seconds, and they will have a 13-6 lead here at the half. The ball's put down at the 17.
In the past, I think Green Bay has felt that Cook would do.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 68, offense. Repeat, second down.
That was Greg Cook.
He gives him a little facial there. Cook does, number 68, without any cream, and gets caught in the process.
Can't you do that?
You can't if you don't get caught.
Frequently you see a sack and then a holding call. It happens an awful lot in football. So just killing the clock. We run down to 3 seconds, and the Jets are not going to stop it. They'll trail by 7 here at the half. A bruising first half of football, pretty well played. The one interception that led to a touchdown finds Green Bay on top at the half, 13-6.
A new form of precision is coming from Mercury. The new precision size marquee. Its lines are aerodynamically clean. Its room, comforting. And as smooth as it may look, its ride is even smoother. The new precision size marquee from Mercury. The substance shows.
It'll never work.
We're testing whether Tegrin shampoo can keep baseball star Jim Palmer's dandruff under control for 3 days. Tegrin Shake, day 1.
Looking good so far.
Tegrin Shake, day 2.
Tegrin's still working, but the game's not over.
Yeah. Tegrin Shake, day 3.
Incredible. Tegrin did it.
All right, yeah, it works.
From now on, I'm trusting Tegrin.
Try Tegrin. It works on dandruff.
Really works.
Between shampoos.
Your business machines say a lot about the way you do business. Quick. Right. Canon's NP400F delivers 40 letter-sized copies in a minute. Consider it done. Responds with reduction, even enlargement. Keeps you organized with a document feeder and optional sorter. The Canon NP400F system copier. Technology that keeps you going. Call toll-free for information or contact your authorized Canon dealer.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, the college sports excitement continues. It starts live at 12 Eastern with the NCAA Today and Pat O'Brien's look at scholar athletes. Then the Classic as the Army-Navy rivalry is fought. And college basketball action continues with the Wildcats. Villanova against Kentucky. Sports action next Saturday on CBS Sports.
I was just telling Irv, the Vikes are on the move again. Now they've intercepted a pass after going ahead of the Chicago Bears 14-7. Again, the Vikes are threatening, and Irv, all after Jim McMahon got Chicago on the board first in that game.
Chicago took control of the game early. McMahon, the young quarterback, here's Ditka Washington's club. McMahon going back here, hitting Emory Moorhead, who's wide open, goes 27 yards for a touchdown, 50-yard touchdown, and to give the Bears a commanding lead early in the game. But Tommy Kramer brings his club back. Now watch Sammy White's concentration here. catch, touchdown, and the Vikings are back in it. And this is what Brent was talking about. Just a few minutes later, Tommy Kramer goes back on a play-action pass, good fake, hits his tight end Joe Simpson for the touchdown, and the Vikings are now ahead.
And they are down on about the Bears' 10-yard line. Not yet in the half of that game. And, of course, the Raiders and Cincinnati. A lot of interest in this game. Bengals ahead of it 21-10. And the stats we have on Marcus Allen, 5 carries for -2 yards. And, Irv, I guess that the artificial surface, probably as much as anything, has slowed down the rookie sensation.
Makes a big, big difference. You know, the guy who works on an artificial surface has the ability to move quickly and cut quickly. And the Raiders, you know, when they train on natural grass. So he doesn't play on that stuff, and it does make a big difference.
Well, I'll tell you, defenses need something to slow down Charlie Brown. The Redskins rolling. They are, of course, unbeaten, and as many of you realize, they're shutting out Dick Vermeil, Harold Carmichael, and the Eagles here at the half. And here he comes, Theismann to Charlie Brown out of South Carolina A&T, and he has scored in each of the Redskins' 4 games so far this season. Irv, I get the feeling that's been a sloppy first half. Too many turnovers.
Well, yeah, too many turnovers, but you have to credit both defensive clubs for going after each other aggressively.
All right, Irv.
Okay.
Buffalo, meanwhile, is shutting out Baltimore 17-0. They are at the half of that game. A surprise for you here, I think. St. Louis now against Atlanta, and the Cardinals ahead in that game 14-6. They are playing it down in Atlanta. Irv?
Boy, Neil Lomax pitches out to number 32, Otis Anderson, who dashes off tackle, goes upfield for a nice gain, setting up a scoring opportunity for his club. And here it is right here. Lomax handing off to Anderson, who goes up the middle for a 20-yard touchdown.
Out of the eye now. Here comes O.J. from that deep set. And so after Morris got that first one, O.J. wings in from 20 yards out. Now, hey, here's one of your guys. White Shoes Johnson set to haul it back, right?
Billy White Shoes Johnson. White, one of the most exciting players. This play, unfortunately, was called back because of a clip there, second clip here. But Billy White Shoes Johnson appeared to have a touchdown here, and the Falcons thought they had a score, but it was called back.
And they need it, too. Well, give us a dance anyhow, even though Pat Haggerty didn't get the penalty flag down in time to stop White Shoes in that end zone. Still 14-6 now, the Cardinals over the Falcons. Meanwhile, New England has just added another field goal, so they lead Houston and Archie Manning, who is quarterbacking the Oilers, 27. And, of course, as you know, Steve Grogan has replaced Matt Cavanaugh, and he is quarterbacking the Patriots in that game. Green Bay and the Jets, tough game here. 13-6 is the count out there in Shea Stadium. And who is Philip Epps? 12th round draft choice out of TCU. And Walt Michaels and the Jet coaches are probably asking themselves that question right now, too. Hey, Lamb Jones is finally starting to show that #1 draft choice form. Look at him get deep for that Jet touchdown. Both missed extra points. And then finally, Dickey, with everybody watching Jefferson and Lofton, he says, come on, Epps, I'll get you one-on-one. There is the second one. And so when we come back here on the NFL Today, Irv is going to tell us about a legend you're going to remember, Tommy McDonald. And we'll do that right after these messages from your local stations.
Sunday on CBS, when Barney can't pay his bar tab, will Archie foot the bill? And why is Gloria pretending Dr. Adams is dead?
I buried him in the cellar.
Then will George Jefferson use his head to crack a tough case?
Oh, you need a battering ram. Quick, grab Mr. Jefferson.
And on One Day at a Time, will Julie have her baby?
In the bathtub?
Then on Trapper John, Riverside is fired.
We can fight this thing. I'll get Trapper down here. He'll blow the lid off the place.
It's all happening Sunday.
This is CBS.
When you're looking for gift ideas, you'll save time. Speed Air Purifier will rid the air of smoke, odors, and dust. The Sunbeam Food Processor will help take the work out of meal preparation. And for fast waves and curls, give this Sassoon 6-piece styling kit from participating True Value hardware stores who wish you a very happy holiday season.
Women drinking beer? Why not?
Any lady that's a lady can enjoy Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
Cowgirl tabs. They like Pabst.
It's for everybody today, tomorrow, in the future.
My wife introduced me to Pabst 18 years ago.
There's just no celebrating Saturdays without Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. It's got an incredible taste. Nothing better.
Any lady should drink it.
It's highly democratic.
Ready for winter? What about your car? Antifreeze should be first on your winterizing list. Come to Mills Fleet Farm, where you'll find top-quality Durex Antifreeze. Durex with Allegard 340-2 is the only antifreeze formula approved by GM, Ford, and AMCG. And it's only $2.99 a gallon now at Mills Fleet Farm. Don't wait till it's too late. Get Durex Antifreeze only $2.99 a gallon at your nearest Mills Fleet Farm store.
Action News, 5 o'clock live, a different kind of live news program.
Welcome back to the news desk in New York. You know, when the Philadelphia Eagles went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, that was their most successful season since 1960, when they last won the NFL championship. And one of the stars on that team was pass receiver Tommy McDonald. He was supposed to be too small to play pro football, but instead, as Irv now tells us, McDonald became one of the legends of the game.
Philadelphia's Franklin Field is another one of those grand old ballparks that's been abandoned by the National Football League. But the memories made here seem to live on. Back in 1960, the Philadelphia Eagles won the National Football League championship right here at Franklin Field. And they did so by beating the Green Bay Packers. It was the only championship game a Vince Lombardi coached Packer team ever lost. As I recall, it was rather pleasant here that December day in 1960, and some 67,000 plus fans turned out. And what they saw was a pint-sized pass catcher from Oklahoma blaze a trail through the Packers.
Throwing out here for Tommy McDonald.
People always kept telling me I was too small. You're too small. You're too small. I always got that. And that motivated me. By me being too small, I was going to show everybody that there was a place in the game for the small guy in professional football.
Tommy McDonald buzzed through NFL defenses like a bumblebee. And if nothing else, the fact that he played without a face mask earned him league-wide respect. But of all his admirers, perhaps his biggest was that legendary head coach who McDonald helped beat back in the 1960 championship game.
Vince Lombardi gave me one of the greatest compliments I ever got, and it was in the Pro Bowl. I'd just taken off my jersey and my shoulder pads, and he said, "Tommy, I know I'll never have a chance to tell you this because I don't get to see you that much because I'm with Green Bay and you're with another team, but I just want you to know, you give me 11 Tommy McDonalds, and I'll have a heck of a football team on the field." And I'll never forget that in my entire life. In fact, Herb Adderley said, "I wished I had a microphone because I have never heard him say anything like that to anybody."
Through 12 seasons with 5 different teams, Tommy McDonald was a 5'9", 168-pound dynamo who never outgrew the excitement of scoring a touchdown.
Most of my stuff was long balls, you know. So when I turned around, everybody was so far back up the field and everything, and I'm ready to start doing it, high fives and everything all of a sudden. Nobody's there to do it, So I started taking back after him, and usually the one I wanted to seek out was the quarterback, and I found Munson this one time. I hit Munson too hard, and we both wound up on the grass and everything, and he got up, and the sports writers asked him about it after the game, and he said, "I think that's the hardest I was hit all day," or whatever.
The legendary Tommy McDonald, still a free spirit, although today he does wear a face mask.
We always like to say, Irv, that those great characters sometimes mellow out. I don't think he has it all.
Tommy has always been and always will be a free spirit. Great guy, though.
He was wearing those gold chains before it was fashionable. And now, let's send you back to the game that you're enjoying here on CBS.
Green Bay loves New York. They came to town not too long ago, and on a Monday night they defeated the New York Giants. And now here they're ahead by the score of 13-6 against the Jets. Hank, I would suspect that neither team really has to come up with anything new for this game. They both know what they're doing. They both can make it go. The interception is the only difference in the game.
Yeah, so far that's all. The only thing that really separates the two teams. And of course, the other thing, both teams have done a good job of running prior to this game. They haven't run very well so far, but have done a very good job of throwing the football.
We'll have Hank explain why the middle has been open against the Jets so much so far in this game. But let's check out the scoring highlights.
Now here's the first pass. We see Dickey throwing to Epps, back one-on-one. He's wide open into the corner, and he makes the reception. They have Lofton and Jefferson on the right side. They want to have a one-on-one on the backside and a touchdown. Now we come right back with the New York Jets, and they throw a pass here to Jones. Lamb Jones inside, then outside. There you see him. He turns the defensive back around, Estes Hood, and it's a touchdown for the New York Jets. Now we go right back into the same situation with Dickey going back into the pocket, throwing into the post area to Epps again. Another touchdown. They have the same situation. Jefferson on the right side, along with Lofton, one-on-one on the backside, and another touchdown.
That last touchdown that we saw followed the interception by Douglas of Green Bay, and it led to the score that makes the difference here at half, 13-6 in favor of the Pack.
From imagination and engineering comes a whole new generation of Zenith System 3 televisions. The sharpest picture Zenith has ever created. Remote control convenience that puts over 100 broadcast and cable channel capability at your fingertips. And handsome new contemporary cabinet designs. New Zenith System 3. Part of the new generation from Zenith, where the quality goes in before the name goes on.
I like it.
If you really like it, I really like it. We can help you get it. We're GMAC. We're GMAC Financing.
When it's time for that new family car, GMAC can help you get it with financing to fit your budget. It's available right here at your GM dealer.
Now at participating GM dealers, get low 10.9 financing on new 82 models.
My American friends introduced me to my favorite beer, light beer from Miller. Now I'm introducing them to my favorite food. With nachos, the best thing about light is it tastes great.
Not bad.
With enchiladas, the best thing is it's got a third less calories than the regular beer. With burritos, the best thing is it's less filling.
Carlos, what's this?
And with jalapeno peppers, the best thing about light is it's cold.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer, and less.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chevrolet. Chevrolet is USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge. Allstate for home, auto, business, health, and life. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by K-Care, where quality automotive parts and service are Kmart priced.
Packers are feeling their oats. They're 3-0 and they're leading at halftime, 13-6. And as you see, they're just now coming on the field, and the Jets are already on the other sideline. We ran into Max McGee, the longtime fine receiver for the Packers, Hank, and you and he were talking about the way the middle of the New York defense has been open. Why is that?
Well, they put a lot of pressure on you when you put Jefferson and Lofton on the same side in the slot. They put them on the right side, and you have to double cover them. You have to be concerned about them releasing downfield. And as a result, Epps, a youngster, playing as a rookie from TCU, they don't know much about him. They don't realize what great speed he has. They got a one-on-one situation on the other side with Jerry Holmes, and on 2 occasions why he's made touchdowns. There we see Walt Michaels. He's talking over the situation with his offensive coordinator, Joe Walton, and trying to come up with something that'll be effective in the second half.
Well, let's look at some of the figures that were compiled during the first half with regard to the passing game in yards. yards. Green Bay 149-78. There were a couple of drop balls, one by Barkham, that would have made a big difference in the New York drive.
It could have made a big difference. It was out in front of him. It looked like it was a catchable pass, but he dropped it, and those kind of plays make a big difference.
There's Jan Stenerud. He will kick off to start the second half. How many years were you together with him?
We were together about 11 years, and I'll never forget when I first saw him. He was at Montana State, kicked off in the opening game that year against Tulsa, kicked the ball right over the goalpost and into the bleachers, about a 70-yard kickoff.
The deep men, as Stenerud sets to kick it off, are Bruce Harper and Kurt Sohn, with Sohn closest to you. And here we go. And they kick it to Sohn, and he takes it on the 4. 10, 20, and he came out to about the 3, 23. He looked a little tentative to me going in there.
He did a little bit. Yep, he did.
The tackle downfield by Mark Murphy, a very good special teams player for Green Bay. And there's Lynn Dickey, loosening up along the sideline, anticipating his return to action. New York starts from their 23. Let's see what kind of a foot the Jets get started on here in the second half. Tight end on the left side. And here is Todd having the ball batted down. It's batted down by Mike Douglas. Man, he's all over the place.
We talked about that earlier. One of the keys to the game really was to make sure that you blocked him, that you handled him. And so far, he's made a lot of tackles, but in conjunction with that, he's kind of turned the game around because of the interception. He is a terrific football player.
He's only 6 feet tall, but he weighs 224, and he is really strong, and he can move. He's all over the place.
And we talked to him before the game, and they came in from the hotel yesterday, and he was very excited about playing this game, and he's playing with a lot of excitement here this afternoon.
Barkham is on the left side, high formation. Here's the up back, Augustiniak. He's good for 4 yards. I thought perhaps, and they did throw on first down, I thought perhaps the Jets would come out and try to reestablish their running game with McNeil, who's been so good in the first 3 games.
I think the most effective way they've run the ball so far, really, Jack, has been from double tight end set. That way they keep Douglas at home. They make him play over a tight end, and it keeps him from running all over the place, and it's a pretty effective way to run the football.
3rd down and 5. The ball at the Jets' 29-yard line. The 3rd wide receiver is in there. Gaffney is in for New York. Little swing pass. Out here to Lamb Jones. He gets a first down. Brother, he can run. He came out to the 40-yard line. That was an unusual formation and an unusual pass play.
Well, what they did, they had Lamb Jones on the left side. He went in motion to the right side. They faked inside to Harper, throw outside on the screen pass. And he's got such tremendous speed. If you ever get him to the outside, especially in a one-on-one situation, he really makes the sparks fly.
We've played a minute and a half here in the 3rd quarter, and it's a first down for the Jets at their own 40. They trail by 7. And McNeil is smacked at the line of scrimmage. The middle of that line, led by Mike Butler, the defensive end, did not give way. Butler's number 77. And there was Douglas. And there's Walt Michaels.
And Terry Jones, number 63 from Alabama, 6'2", 259. He does a great job of anchoring the middle area.
Joe Fields is the offensive center for New York. Alexander and Waldemore the guards. Ward and Powell the tackles. 2nd and 11. Todd hit as he throws, incomplete. The linebacker from the other side, John Anderson, got in there.
And that time they double the outside receivers again with the anticipation of their throwing outside. They were in the right coverage, and the ball is thrown incomplete.
Hank, I hate to keep talking about the labor situation in the NFL, but St. Louis hangs on to their lead in the 3rd quarter over Atlanta, 14-13. This will be another big week as the players vote in the NFL as to whether or not to accept the contract.
Yeah, we hear a lot of different opinions, but I think in the final analysis, I think they'll vote for the package and continue to play football. At least we all hope so.
There's a pass. Barkham caught this one, first down. toss. Johnny Gray was there to make the tackle. Barkham made sure he caught it and pulled it down.
And here's an end zone shot. Watch it. Good, beautiful shot here. Todd going back into the pocket. Barkham is knocked off by the linebacker, but goes to the outside and makes the catch. A very, very good play, an intelligent play by Jerome Barkham, number 83.
That was on third down, and now it's a first down at the Packer 46. McNeil. He gets only a couple. And John Anderson, the linebacker there. There haven't been many flags in this game. It's been well played, hard hitting. Buffalo pouring on Baltimore. Baltimore was laced by these Jets last week, 34-0. And the Redskins undefeated, leading in the third quarter over the Eagles 10-0.
I talked to Joe Theismann early in the season in a preseason game against Tampa. He was very excited about their football team and felt that they could stay healthy. They could be as good as anybody. Turns out that he's a pretty good prophet.
Joe Gibbs, the coach, has given a new outlook to the Redskins. To the sideline of Lamb Jones, and he knew he was going to get hit, and he just tried to put the ball away, but somehow he dropped it.
It looked like he started to turn and try to run a little bit too soon. And Mike McCoy, here we see it. Watch him coming off the line of scrimmage. Mike McCoy backpedaling, throws the ball in front. And I think in the process he heard McCoy coming up behind him, might have heard some footsteps, and drops the football.
It is third down and 8.
The other thing is, I think it's a much better situation if the receiver comes back to the ball a little bit. He did not do that at all.
Estes Hood, the fifth back, is in there for the Packers. Third down. Todd runs out of trouble, throws on the run, and it is a first down catch. Derek Gaffney, who has perhaps the best hands of any of their receivers, pulled it down.
Here's a ground level shot. Gaffney coming to the inside. Watch McCoy, number 29. He goes to the inside. Watch him reach for this ball up high. Beautiful diving catch. He makes the reception. A big play by Derek Gaffney, number 81.
There were two very big third down plays, and Richard Todd hit on both of them on this drive. Two tight ends. Schuler is in there along with Barkham. Todd rolling left, stops and throws. Bad throw, incomplete. He tried to get it to Barkham. They had the two tight ends, and Todd knows that he messed that one up. It was there for him for the taking.
They were in hot pursuit. I think he felt the pressure coming from the other side, too, on the play, because he threw the ball in kind of an awkward way, and he knew that he had a chance to make the play, but didn't.
He had a little more time than he thought he had, Hank. He could have stopped, set up, and thrown, couldn't he?
But I think he felt the pressure of the opposition that time. I don't know who it was who was putting on the pressure, but he did.
Second down and 10. The Jets have not been very good in first down on this drive, but they've been good on third down. From the 24, here's Harper. What a good tackle. A good tackle was made with one hand by Rich Wingo, number 50. He just spun him down. Harper's not very big at 177 they have him listed.
The Packers came into the game being the number one team against the rush in the NFC, fourth in total defense, sixth against the pass, and the Jets are one in total offense, one rushing and six passing. And so it's a pretty good confrontation between the two teams.
Here's another third down play. Extra backers in there for Green Bay. And Wesley Walker is to the right. Four-man rush. End zone, Lamb Jones, incomplete. Double coverage, but Jones had gotten behind Mike McCoy and Johnny Gray, and it's time for New York to try a field goal with Pat Leahy.
Watch Mike McCoy, number 29. Lamb Jones make a delayed move. He doesn't hit him at all at the line of scrimmage. He gets a good release. The ball is thrown to the outside, really, and flies out of the end zone incomplete.
A 42-yard field goal try by
USA 1. Taking charge with celebrity. No import sedan at any price can match this Chevrolet for the room it gives you with the mileage it gives you. And Chevrolet now brings it to you at new, lower prices. The 5-passenger front-wheel drive Celebrity with standard engine electronic fuel injection. Chevrolet's new generation sedan. USA 1. Taking charge.
Now, there's a steel-belted radial that meets today's driving challenges head-on. The new 72,000-mile Olympian. Made by Uniroyal, Olympian's all-season tread takes any weather in stride. Built to outdistance Michelin X and Goodyear Arriva. Now, buy 4 Olympians and get a $200 bond from Kmart. Buy 2, get a $100 bond. The Olympian. It goes the distance. The Olympian. Quality by Uniroyal. The price by Kmart.
Mark Lee of the Packers got a piece of that field goal try, and a 42-yard miss by Pat Leahy. The ball comes back out to the line of scrimmage at Green Bay 24. Well, that drive was aborted after some key third down passes were caught. Hank, what do you think of let's watch Mark Lee get a piece of that ball.
Yeah, he gets through there, takes a good angle, and he did knock it off course. Mark Lee, number 22.
From the 24 with Ellis the fullback, Ivory the tailback. Ivory with a good run to the 29, and Kaufman, the tight end, did a very good job on Gastineau, the defensive end.
You know, the way those linebackers play, the New York Jets are back there 4 yards deep. Look at this, Washington 10, Philadelphia nothing.
That score the same in the third quarter, and next Sunday, the Redskins will be tested by the Cowboys. Check your local listing next Sunday on CBS. You'll see it here in the New York area. The Redskins and the Cowboys. Second down and 4. Little screen pass, and a big hit. Kaufman caught it, and there was the defensive back racing up, Ken Schroy, and it's going to be third down and long, third down and about 12 yards to go.
Here we see it from another view, another screen pass, looking to the right. You have to do a good job of acting on screen passes, and watch Schroy, number 48, come up here and make the play. Watch Gastineau here, number 99. That's one good way to block him, to hold him. He's being held there by Cook, but you better do something to slow him down, and that's what he's doing, and he got away with it.
Well, usually it's the referee watching that right tackle and pass blocking. Third down and 12. The crowd giving the Jets a lot of support. Dickey throws wide open and incomplete. Boy, that's unusual. All right, that was the rookie Epps, who had caught a couple of touchdown passes, and that ball bounced right off.
I think he lost it. I think what happened, Lance Mel, number 56, got his hands up, and he missed following the ball into his hands. Watch him. Epps comes to the inside again. Watch. The ball is right at the numbers.
Darrell Ray was there.
Darrell Ray was 28 was there, and I think that's what happened on the play. That's why he missed it.
There is the punt by Ray Stakowitz. And Bruce Harper is back to get it. The Jets have 9 men at the line of scrimmage. Here's Harper. He hangs it high, and Harper took it on the 45, but a whistle stops play.
He made a very poor signal for the fair catch. He got it about halfway up, and that really is not a signal for the fair catch. He's got to get it way above his head. He did not make a pronounced signal for the fair catch, and they downed the ball.
They down the ball at the Jets' 45-yard line. They're still talking it over.
Official NFL. Looks like a great day. What are you going to do?
Play tennis. Get a new swing set.
Anyone want to compare insurance policies?
Wait, Allstate could make it worthwhile. And very easy. Just drop off your policies at Allstate the next time you're in Sears. And we're going to do everything to see if Allstate can give you a better value. Oh, got good news for you.
You do? He does. Already?
See what Allstate can do for you. Put yourself in good hands.
We are USA 1. Taking charge by unleashing a Chevrolet the competition can't touch. Camaro, flat outselling every other 2+2 sports coupe on the road today. And now Camaro is led by a new standard 5-speed 5-liter C28. The hot-selling Chevy Camaro. It still leaves everything but its shadow behind. USA 1 is taking charge.
Bruce Harper and the Jets were penalized 5 yards because of the illegal fair catch signal. He got it only halfway up, and the official threw the flag on him for that. You either give the signal or you don't, and they penalized him 5 yards.
Yeah, he gave him a Bill Bordy fair catch signal that time, a short arm, and it's not good enough, and they call a 5-yard penalty on the play.
By the way, as you watch the scores come in, when we talk about the game at Atlanta, where the Cardinals lead 14-13, it is a very heavy rain in Atlanta. Here it's first down. And McNeil gets only a couple. Hank, you don't see much wrong with this Green Bay team, do you?
Well, really, I don't see much wrong with either one of the two teams. They're both very good teams, and you have the impression, talking to the coaches and being around the teams, that both teams feel very good about their squad, feel very confident about their skill and ability. They feel strongly about the fact that they'll be in the playoff, but I think we're looking at two very good football teams.
A couple of yards for Freeman McNeil, second down and 8. Barkham sets up on the right side. Walker to the left, Lamb Jones to the right. Augustiniak a fake. Oh, in the middle, wide open. Now Harper caught it. Little Bruce Harper slid down the middle and caught it at the 32-yard line of Green Bay. Tackled by Maurice Harvey and Johnny Gray.
A good play-action fake, end-zone shot. Look, it's faking inside to Augustiniak. Good time to throw. Throws it right down the middle against the double zone to Bruce Harper. He's in a nutcracker there. Gets hit from both sides. Douglas finally makes the tackle, but it's a big first down for the New York Jets.
And the Jets are trailing 13-6. We have 6:20 left in the third quarter. First down at the Green Bay 32. Swing pass, and Harper dropped it. Todd threw that perfectly, about a half step in front of him. Tony Franklin has kicked a field goal. And now that Redskins score is 10-3, third quarter with 10:24 left to play. The Redskins would like a win because they have to play Dallas next week. And the Cardinals add 3 points to their lead in the third quarter in that heavy rain at Atlanta. He threw that ball perfectly, didn't he, Hank?
Couldn't throw it any better. It was just dropped the football. That's all you can say. And that'll happen.
6:11 left in the third quarter. 13-6, Green Bay leading. The blitz is on. The pass is caught. First down inside the 15-yard line by Barkham, the tight end. He is 6'4", 227, and all of the enthusiasm has returned to Shea Stadium. That's what a winner will do for you.
Here's a replay of the Johnny Gray is covering on the play. Barkham goes to the outside, makes a very good move. And Johnny Gray, number 24, finally knocks him out of bounds after he picks up the necessary yardage for the first down.
This started after the punt and the penalty. Took the ball back to the New York 40. They're at the Green Bay 15. Toss to Harper. He's good for only a couple in a swarming defense by Green Bay, led by Mike Douglas and Terry Jones, the nose guard. Jones is number 63.
Well, it's amazing how quickly Jones got to the outside from his middle position, head up on the center, and the ball was tossed to the outside, and he was there to make the play, as was Douglas, number 53.
Bruce Harper has given the Jets a lift here. Augustiniak is back into the backfield with McNeil. Two tight ends. And McNeil finds running room. He's down near the 8-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Rich Wingo and Mike Douglas tackled it.
The Jets' best running has been when it's decided to run right at the defense. When they go
with the
right,
two tight ends, too.
Yes, and they go right after him. Why they do a good job of making yardage on the running plays.
The ball is at the Green Bay 7. They've got to get to the 5 for a New York first down. And the Jets are trailing by 7 with 4 left in the 3rd quarter. Augustiniak and Durking are in there now in the backfield. Durking. First and goal from the 4-yard line. He got inside the 5. Mike Butler was the first to get to him.
Let's take a look at it from ground level. Off tackle right. Scott Durking, Augustiniak leading on the play. There's a lot of folks there, but he goes into the pile and comes out the other end for the necessary yardage of the first down. Scott Durking played his collegiate football at Purdue University.
The Jets brag about their center.
They like him very much, and justifiably so. Joe Fields, number 65. He does a good job, and he anchors that offensive line for the New York Jets.
First and goal from the 4. A whistle stops play. 4:04 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Somebody threw a football on the field.
Really?
It's a wonder somebody didn't pick it up and run for a touchdown with 2 balls out there, Jack.
One's enough, isn't it?
I would think so.
One football causes enough confusion without having 2 of them in play.
Isn't that the truth?
We have 4:04 left in the 3rd quarter. And Carter says, hold it, wait just a minute.
If we're going to throw a play-action pass or throw the ball, this would be a good time.
They're going to put 4 seconds back on the clock. 4:08 left in the 3rd quarter.
This is a good time as well as they've run the ball, Jack, to throw a play-action pass possibly on 1st and 10. Let's see if Joe Walton might do that in this particular situation.
How is Todd on the bootleg?
He's good. He can run well.
Was that easy? Was that easy?
Boy, he blew it in there like it was a dummy drill, like a bag drill that time. Popped right in there with Augustiniak.
Augustiniak, 4 yards. That is his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
Here's a ground level view of it. Look at the left tackle. It was a trap. Left guard trapping on the play. Stan Waldemar trapping on the play. A beautiful shot right up the middle, and the Jets get 6. Here you see it again. Right up the middle, a big hole.
The extra point try is no good. Leahy has missed 2. And the score remains 13-12. What the heck happened there?
Unbelievable.
Evidently, Lewis got a piece of it. 3:59 left in the 3rd quarter.
You know, there's nothing like getting together for a nice, friendly game of cards. That's right. Jim brings the cards. Mickey brings the doll.
Nice doll.
And I bring the beer. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great. It's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. And it's less filling. And you don't want to get filled up when you're dealing with these guys who... Okay, Numa, cut the cards. Oh, no.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Change velocity ratio.
When General Motors talks about fuel economy, it isn't just a lot of wind.
Stable at 90.
Although wind is involved, aerodynamics are tested here in 50-mile-an-hour winds because less wind resistance means more miles per gallon. This has helped GM double fuel economy since 1974.
That's a fact, and not just a lot of wind.
We're living up to our commitment. Right now, today, we're the best GM ever.
Next Saturday, it's one of college football's greatest traditions, the Army-Navy game. Be a part of the classic next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Anytime you kids have to get a ball out of a drain around your house, call Cliff Lewis.
He's number 56. He got a piece of it.
Lewis got a piece of it. We've had 3 extra point misses in this game. Now the kick by Leahy is deep, and Rogers took it on the goal line. He's to the 10. He is to the 15, and down he goes there. No flags. So we'll start from the Green Bay 15-yard line. That Leahy, you can see, he's still slumping about missing that extra point try, Hank.
Yeah, somebody's got to give him a little boost, a little pat on the back, because, if he keeps his number down, he's liable to miss some more. How many times would you ever say that in a professional football game, you'd see 3 extra points missed? Very unusual.
The Raiders are trailing by 4 in the third quarter in their game against the Bengals. You think the Raiders are as good as anybody, don't you?
I really do. They've got a terrific football team, and if Plunkett, the quarterback, is playing well, they can beat anybody.
Jerry Ellis and Eddie Lee Ivory in the backfield. Jefferson in motion. Dickey on a first down. Takes short, throws long. He's hit. A wobbly ball is incomplete. We just talked about Plunkett. That last score by the Raiders was on a pass to Cliff Branch for 28 yards.
Here we see Gastineau again, coming off the line of scrimmage. And here again, working on Cook. Controls him well, gets to the inside, and makes Dickey throw the ball really before he wants to. Boy, he's a piece of work, and you have to be concerned about blocking him with a tight end, with an extra back. They haven't really done too much of that in the game so far.
And now Lofton and Jefferson come to the right, and Epps is the third wide receiver. Caught by Epps, and he is out near the 24-yard line, or rather, Rogers out of the backfield. Rogers out of the backfield, caught the ball to the 24, and he limps off the field. Lance Mell, the linebacker, tackled him.
And the Jets changed their coverage. They double-teamed that time, double-covered Epps on the other side. And it looked like Dickey was trying to do a little business over there, but he saw the double cover and came inside, and that was really the only vulnerable area that he could throw the ball to.
Third down and 1. Green Bay asked for a measurement. They want to know precisely how much territory they have to cover. 3:31 left in the third quarter. He's going to be short of a first down. But the Packers want to know how much.
Eddie Lee Ivory, we can look for this somewhere maybe in this game. Eddie Lee Ivory throws the option pass very well, and we might see the option throw somewhere in the remaining part of this game.
The 2 tight ends are in there for Green Bay, Paul Kaufman and Gary Lewis. Third down and inches. Ellis and Ivory in the backfield with Dickey. Dickey's a big fella, 6'4", 210. He may just sneak the ball. Behind McCarron, the center. Now they give it to Ivory, and down he goes. The defensive end, Kenny Neal, came roaring through. Why would they go so wide, Hank?
I don't know. I don't like that kind of a play. It's not I just think in a situation like that, when you ought to go right at the defense, it's a long way to go from right to left, to have the ball on the right side and go all the way over to the left side. Watch 77, Kenny Neal, who's taken the place of Joe Flacco, gets penetration and stops the play.
Now Stakowicz will punt to Bruce Harper. His average was 44 yards to kick before today, and this is not too good. And it's down by Green Bay. Look at the field position the Jets have. With 2:32 remaining in the third quarter, they have the ball at their own 47, and they trail by only 1 point. Good game, isn't it?
We are USA 1. Take taking charge with the new Cavaliers. With a new high-compression electronic fuel-injected 2-liter engine, available 5-speed transmission, and a new lower price. It's powered by Chevrolet's determination to put Cavalier on top and priced to keep it there. A full line of new Cavaliers from America's sales leader, USA One, is taking charge.
A special Christmas gift from Radio Shack.
Dad, I know exactly what I'd like for Christmas. Radio Shack Science Fair 160-in-1 electronic project kit. It's only $29.95. It'll teach me electronics. I can learn to build safe, solderless, battery and solar radios, transmitters, computer circuits, electronic sound effects, even LED readouts. Maybe I can even learn how to fix your razor.
The 160-in-1 electronic project kit. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
Back in 1890, Hank Stram was coaching the Army team, and they started that rivalry with Navy. Well, that time of year rolled around again. It's Army versus Navy, and you'll see it next Saturday on CBS. It starts at 12 noon Eastern Time with the NCAA Today. Army and Navy next Saturday. Number 48, the Jets. Jones is good for 3 yards to the 49 of Green Bay. John Anderson, the linebacker out of Michigan, the tackler.
That time they had a double tight end offense with a double wing. Jones went on the right side. There you see him. Lamb Jones takes off like he's going to go downfield, comes back for the ball. Johnny Gray is out there in good shape and gets a piece of the tackle. And Anderson finally comes over and knocks him to the turf.
Wesley Walker comes to the left side. The other wide receiver is Derek Gaffney. He's on a wing. There is a delay to McNeil. And he is bumped out finally by Maurice Harvey at the Green Bay 14-yard line.
Shot of the draw play. McNeil Alexander does a good job of blocking a linebacker. McNeil does a good job of going through the tackle of Anderson. Gray is in hot pursuit, does not get there in time. He finally knocked out of bounds by Douglas, it looked like, but a beautiful run by Freeman McNeil on a draw play.
They put it at the 13-yard line of the Packers. Walker's to the left.
Green Bay likes to blitz in this situation.
Pass play, end zone. Incomplete to the tight end Barkham on the deflection. It'll be 2nd down and 10. John Anderson knocked the ball into the air and over the end line.
And Anderson, really, number 59, watch it. Ground level, look at Barkham. Watch Anderson, number 59, playing underneath. Gray on the outside. Look at this. He leaps high, deflects the ball, and it flies out of the end zone. But a beautiful play by Anderson, the linebacker. Terrific.
He turned around and found the ball at the right time.
He did.
We have 1:31 left in the third quarter.
He had the antenna up at the right time.
The Jets are trailing by a point. One is good for about 5 yards. Caught by Scott Gerking, a very versatile performer. It's going to be 3rd down. He got 6 as it turns out. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Johnny Gray bumped him out of bounds.
3rd and 4.
That's the time remaining in the third quarter. 1:25. The score, Green Bay 13, Jets 12. 3rd down and 4 for the Jets. The Eagles are sneaking back into the game against the Redskins. 10-9 in favor of Washington. Gerking was out of bounds at the 7.
Well, they got Lamb Jones on a safety over there.
Here's a delay to Harper and a big hit in the backfield. No gain. No gain as the linebacker Douglas got in there. Brother, he's a smart football player.
Yes, he is. And here again, Lamb Jones had a perfect situation on the outside. He was one-on-one with Johnny Gray, who was a strong safety. They elected to run the play inside, and of course, Douglas made a beautiful tackle.
1 minute left in the third quarter. This is a 25-yard try by Leahy, who was 4 out of 4 before today, and the Jets lead for the first time in the game by the score of 15-13 with 50 seconds left in the third quarter. So Leahy, after missing 2 extra points, bounces back and puts the Jets on top.
If you care about your pictures, you'll flip over Kodak paper. Because for a good look on the front, it helps to have Kodak paper on the back. Kodak paper. It's the only paper to flip over. So to help your pictures look their best, come to a store that cares enough to use Kodak paper.
And you'll flip.
Just ask for Kodak paper where you see this sign. And start flipping.
We are USA 1. Taking charge with a Chevrolet so versatile, it's part moving van, part school bus, part camper, and part sporting car. It's a front-wheel drive Chevy Citation, outselling every other front-wheel drive over the past 3 years combined. USA 1 is taking charge.
Let's watch that last field goal by Leahy. He needed this one, Hank.
Yeah, he did, and he bore down very well. Good follow-through, hit it well, popped it through there in good shape. That'll restore his confidence, make him feel a lot better about the fact that he's missed a couple extra points here this afternoon.
And now he'll kick it off. He's from St. Louis University, never played football. He's a soccer player. Clark is the deep man, and the kickoff goes out of bounds, and now Leahy is back in his slump again. It'll cost him 5 yards, and he'll have to kick from the 30-yard line. He's a lonesome fellow out there at the moment.
Yeah, hit that a little bit too high on the ball, in the middle of the ball. Anytime it goes as low as it did that time, it means that you hit it in the middle, didn't make good contact, and it goes out of bounds.
Maybe the ball was upside down.
Could have been.
Couple of scores, Minnesota. Oh, you figure they'd get rambling sometime, and they're ahead 21-7 over the Bears in the third quarter. And Cincinnati widens their lead again, 28-17 over the Raiders in the third quarter. Now this kick most likely will be returned as it's kicked from the 30-yard line with 45 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Jets leading 15-13. I think we're headed for a wild finish in this one.
Could be.
Has that air about it, doesn't it?
Both teams are very explosive with the outside receivers that both teams have. Boy, there's a lot of fireworks.
With Rodgers hurt, Clark is back to get the kick for Green Bay. Alan Clark comes up. Oh, he takes the ball on the 5, finally 10, 15-yard line, that's all. Alan Clark used to be with New England, didn't he?
Yes, and they like him very much, and especially on the specialty teams.
Tackle downfield by Tom Newton of the Jets. Well, Green Bay has to try to regain a little momentum. And we have only 35 seconds left in the third quarter. 13-9, the Redskins lead the Eagles in the third quarter. And next week, those Redskins will tangle with the Cowboys here on CBS. Jerry Ellis is swarmed under. Blinka, the middle linebacker, led the charge. That might be the final play of the third quarter.
I don't want to belabor the point, but I mentioned earlier, Jack, you really have to do a good job of blocking those linebackers of the New York Jets if you hope to have any anticipation of making yardage. They haven't done a very good job, and the most effective way they've run it to the defense really has been right at them.
He lost 3, Ellis did, and that's the final play of the third quarter. 2nd and 13 when we resume. Jim Jensen checks into the backfield for Green Bay. He'll run at the fullback spot. Well, that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Jets Jets 15, Packers 13. We pause for a word from your local station.
Ricky Schroeder doesn't want a new father. Patty Ducaston doesn't want a new man. How can James Ferrantino win their hearts?
Let's take a chance.
Something so right. Tuesday.
This is CBS.
After every Packer game, go for Durkee's and be sure to listen to Durkee's Mailbag on radio with Jim Ford.
The Durkee Packer fan club at Chano, Johnny Reed and Pete Peterson writes, you had a story about the first fan to have his own suite. What's the story? Back in 1931, Louis Dugan parked his van outside of the fence at the old City Stadium and raised the rear end up and sat in an old rocking chair. And get this, he turned around and bought 2 tickets for inside the park, but yet he never used them.
Brought to you by Durkee's famous spices, sauces, mixes, and olives. World's finest, voted #1 in Packerland.
Catlow, starring Yul Brenner, 10:30 Sunday night.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac Motor Car Division and your Cadillac dealer. Light beer from Miller, everything you've always wanted in a beer, and less. And by the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be.
This place is going crazy. Hank, I don't want to stay on the subject too long, but you wouldn't believe the strike just ended a short while ago, would you, being here at Shea Stadium?
No, the reaction, the emotional level of the fans here this afternoon is excellent. They're very excited about their football team, and justifiably so. They come into the game with a 2-1 record. Excited about the fact they might be in the playoffs as we go down the line. And look at the comparison of the quarterbacks. Lynn Dickey, 13 of 21 for 164 yards. 2 TDs. Richard Todd, 15 of 31 for 185. And 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
From their own 12-yard line, Green Bay has 2nd and 13. And they have lost their momentum. Jefferson goes in motion, and Dickey's going to put it up. He swings it to Kaufman, the tight end. Nothing's working. Nothing's working. Nothing is going for Green Bay. The tackler, Jerry Holmes, really aggressive on the corner.
Well, one thing going into the game, they were very, very concerned about the screen passes and the variety of ways they throw the screen passes. That time he rolled to the right, threw the ball way back over to the left side to the tight end, Kaufman, but Jerry Holmes was right there to make the play. A beautiful reaction on the part of Jerry Holmes.
He lost 7 yards, and it's 3rd and 20 from their own 5 for the Packers. Jerry Ellis, the fullback, 5, about 9 or 10 yards, but it's time for Green Bay to punt. Now a little scuffle breaks out. A little scuffle with Larry McCarron involved.
The Jets are double covering from a slot formation with Lofton, Jefferson, and also here's the scuffle.
A lot of people there, aren't there?
Yeah, a lot of folks pushing and shoving. Nothing happened really.
There was Blinka and Eddie Lee Ivory, and then McCarron got in there with Butler. Harper waits inside his 45.
Ivory did a wise thing, did a little backstroke there that time, didn't want to get involved.
Bruce Harper back waiting for the kick from Stakowicz. Let's see how the Jets come after it. They've already run into the kicker one time today. No pressure. Harper will return it from the 49. Good blocking. Harper down the sideline and finally out of bounds. Did you see that block back upfield?
A beautiful block. Looked like it might have been Johnny Lynn.
That's who it was.
A new kind of Cadillac comes to life. Cimarron 83 with a smooth new 5-speed. Leather-faced front bucket seats with lumbar support. And a responsive new fuel-injected 2-liter engine. Cimarron also sports a bold new grille, fog lamps, and Cadillac's road-hugging touring suspension. If If you've been thinking import, take a good look at Cimarron 83.
There's a hungry kind of feeling and every day it grows. You know there's so much more to you than anybody knows.
In the Army, we do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
Watch Johnny Lynn, number 29, Bruce Harper running to the left. Watch Johnny Lynn, right there, number 29, made a beautiful block, terrific block, and Harper is able to go down the sideline. Doesn't make much yardage on the play, but really a beautiful block by Johnny Lynn.
Murphy got knocked off his feet, and now the ball is at the 46-yard line. St. Louis increases their lead over Atlanta. They try to get to the 500 mark. The ball at the Green Bay 46. Augustiniak popping it up the middle. And he got 4 or 5 yards. Tackled by Terry Jones, the nose guard. The Jets have the lead, 15-13, with 13 minutes left in the game.
And we see Walt Michaels. He likes the sledgehammer approach from a running standpoint, and justifiably so. He's got a great offensive line, good running backs. You like to see him move the ball on the ground, and that was a good chunk on 1st and 10.
McNeil is the tailback, 2nd and 6. Cobb rolling left. He's in trouble. He throws the ball. It's caught by Augustiniak, and he gets a first down and more. He is to the 32 of New York, and a great escape job by Richard Cobb.
Here we see the replay. Rose to the left with the backs going the other way. Johnson gets a piece of him, but he delivers the ball to the right side in good shape to Augustiniak. Augustiniak really does a good job of covering up the football, which is so important. He wanted to make sure that it wasn't bounced out of there, and the Jets have good field position, 1st and 10.
At the 33 of Green Bay. 12 minutes left in the game. McNeil. He's inside the 25. He got 8 yards, and had he not been knocked off stride, he might have run for a score.
And here again, they had a double tight end offense. Watch another shot of it. Going to the right side. Augustiniak blocking inside. There's running room. And Freeman McNeil goes through there and makes the necessary yardage for a nice game.
Maurice Harvey was there to make the tackle, and Jerome Barkham made a very good block on the play. 2nd down and 2. Barkham's on the right. Augustiniak in motion. Across to McNeil. And Wingo met him head up.
Tackled by Richard.
And it looks like he's short of a first down on that 3rd down carry. Green Bay stiffened on that one. 11 minutes left in the game. Jets leading 15-13. McNeil goes out, and Cincinnati pulling away from the Raiders. The Bengals lead 31-17. Jim Breach with the field goal. The latest score. 3rd down and a yard. Durking is in the backfield. And they give the ball to Durking, and he gets a first down, doesn't he? Inside the 15-yard line. Down to the 14. Harvey and McCoy tackled Durking.
Well, they cleaned it out good on that left side. Watch it from ground level. Chris Ward on the left side. Stan Waldemore, watch it. A good surge. Durking makes the read in good shape. Goes through the cavity and makes a nice gain on the play. Finally tackled there by number 23, Maurice Harvey.
10 minutes left in the game. First down for the Jets at the Green Bay 14. The Jets leading by 2. Yep. First and goal to go. First and goal to go on the reception by McNeil. What a beautifully thrown ball that was.
It was, and he ran a good pattern. Freeman McNeil McNeil, watch a ground level shot. Good protection. He throws the ball outside. Freeman makes the leaping catch. Number 52, Cumby, is in hot pursuit, but he makes a nice gain on the play, and the ball's down to about the 2-yard line.
Yard and a half away. It is Durking and Augustiniak in the backfield. Two tight ends, Newton on a wing, and Todd keeps it and throws, and a flag goes down. A touchdown, but a flag is down. A flag goes down as the pass was caught. Augustiniak caught it, but the flag went down immediately. Penalty against New York. A penalty against the Jets will bring it back.
And Todd is furious. He doesn't think that happened. Play action pass. So they bring the ball back.
Big one. Woo. Out to the 16-yard line.
Pass interference. Number 82, offense. Repeat first down.
The call is against the other tight end, Mickey Schuler. Now they have first and goal, a yard and a half away. Let's watch.
Mickey Schuler, 82, is who they call on the play.
He was pushing off.
Yep.
And then Augustiniak caught it, but they brought it back. First and goal. First and goal from the 16. Fumble. And McNeil fumbled the ball inside the 10-yard line. And evidently New York got it back, and they did. And that's something, isn't it? How this has changed around. Waldemore, the left guard, recovered the fumble. McNeil carried, fumbled, and Waldemore got it back at the 10. It's second and goal. Second and goal. McNeil and Augustiniak in the backfield. Look at there. And Todd wisely. Oh, it's intercepted. A flag goes down, and I think the whole play was dead. Ezra Johnson got in on top of Todd, and a holding call against New York. Well, a moment ago, they had the ball a yard and a half away, and look at them now.
And Ezra Johnson really got across that line of scrimmage. You talk about getting off the mark and getting penetration. He did exactly that. Number 90, right in Ezra Johnson.
The sixth penalty of the day for the Jets. It's going to be second and goal.
The penalty is for the delay of game.
Delay of game, so the whistle had sounded, the 30-second clock ran out, and so the holding call didn't matter, or the interception didn't matter, the whole play was dead. The ball's at the 14, and it's second and goal. The extra back Hood comes in, and a four-man front, including Casey Merrill for Green Bay. Hank, I know it's a second guess. It's in the category of second guess, but yet first and goal, and a yard and a half away, and the Jets throw the ball.
Well, here again, if you're going to throw a play-action pass, as I mentioned the last time they ran the ball in for the touchdown, if you're going to throw a play-action pass, you better throw it on first and 10 or first and goal, because they're all so concerned about stopping the run. And it was open. It was just unfortunate that Schuler was holding on the play.
They're trying to reset the game clock. We'll have to get it right before we resume. We've got to have about 10 minutes left when they finally get it set. The crowd's counting it down as though the game is over. There are about 10 minutes left. We'll have to wait to see precisely how much time we have.
Jack, attitude is such an important part of all all games, but being around both of these teams, the Jets and the Green Bay Packers, you have a good feeling of camaraderie that exists on the part of both squads. They're all bragging about each other. They feel good about their chances of being a good football team, and you have to be impressed with the attitude of both squads.
We have 8:52 remaining in the game. 8-5-2. It's second and goal for the Jets. From the 15 of Green Bay. And again, Todd is sacked, and they blow the whistle. And he's sacked back at the 25-yard line. So they started at their 1, and now they're all the way back to the 25. Ezra Johnson again.
Here we see it from ground level. Johnson, the right end. Look at him get through there on Chris Ward to the inside. What happens? They rush outside so much, Jack, and then all of a sudden they make an inside move. The offensive tackles are backing up, anticipating the outside move, and get caught inside. That's what happened that time to Chris Ward with Ezra Johnson.
It is now third down. Green Bay has nailed Richard Todd 3 times. It's third and goal from the 25. Gaffney is in as the other wide receiver. Has time, and it is out of bounds at the 1 to Gaffney. It'll be fourth and goal to go. Dumped out by Harvey and Hood. And Todd, who had time that time, really put it on the money.
He put it on the shelf that time to Derek Gaffney. Boy, what a nice throw. Good protection. Here's another end zone shot of it. Watch Richard step up, throw the ball outside. Gaffney makes an outside move. And a beautiful play. Covering on the play was Harvey, number 23.
They're going to pass up the field goal. They're going to go for it. It's fourth down.
I guarantee you they'll stick it in there this time.
McNeil and Augustiniak in the backfield. A give to McNeil, and he did not get in. The ball goes over to Green Bay on fourth down. McNeil could not get in, and Green Bay still trails by only 2 with 8:08 left in the game.
Well, what a sensational play by the defense of the Green Bay Packers.
Randy Scott, a linebacker, and Mike McCoy led the defensive charge. Now Green Bay has the ball at their own 2-yard line, trailing by 2 points.
For you, first class is a way of life. From the plane you fly to the car you drive. Seville, Cadillac's finest. Distinctive, elegant, superbly crafted. A car for those who choose to go first class all the way. Seville.
Maybe I wasn't the greatest player of all time, but fans, they forgive and forget. When I go in here, they'll be buying me my favorite beer, light beer from Miller. You, Bob Uecker? Hey, how you doing? These fans, I love them. They know us ex-big leaguers drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Well, can't keep the gang waiting. The fans are always joking.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Wow, they're having a good time in there.
Next Saturday, the Wildcats, Villanova, led by senior guard John Panone, against the balanced attack of Kentucky. NCAA basketball action next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Well, 1 minute and 36 seconds ago, the Jets had the ball first and goal at the 1. They ended up with nothing. What did you think of their last call, Ringstrom?
Well, you have to be, in a game like this one, 15-13, you have to consider strongly kicking a field goal. And I'm sure now, maybe Wall, after it's all over with, maybe would look back and say, I should have kicked a field goal. But, at the time, he feels good about his offensive line. And, but again, that had to be a strong consideration with only a 2-point lead.
Now Green Bay is going to try to dig themselves out. Here's a pass play from the end zone. Long and into traffic and incomplete to Lofton. And the Packers are lucky they didn't lose the ball. Dickey was nailed in the end zone as he threw it. Darrell Ray was covering upfield along with Bobby Thompson. Double coverage on Lofton.
And Dickey's got to face full of mud.
He got a face full of mud and sod, and he's trying to get the terra firma out of his face mask and out of his eyes.
Yeah, needs a lawnmower.
We have 8:01 left in the game. Lofton to the left, Jefferson to the right. And incomplete. And a flag. Look at those flags come down. Looks like LaGuardia.
And look at the way, I think what happened on the play, I can't tell whether it was Jefferson or who it was, but
and Jefferson got knocked down. I think somebody picked him off.
He's coming in motion back to the inside. Jefferson, number 83, and watch him get a shot.
Blinka is there, and it's more. Oh, my Lord.
Boy, you talk about a vicious shot. He hit him right in the smush.
Boy, that was terrible. And not only that, he was more than 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. He couldn't even truck him. And he really nailed him. 15-yard penalty coming up here.
Terrible blow.
Wow, that was awful. Blinka acted as though he didn't even know he was coming. He knew he was coming, didn't he?
And I'm surprised that Jefferson was so unconcerned coming across.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 54 defense, first down.
The ball comes out to the Green Bay 17. I don't want to watch it again. You look.
Look at this. Stan Blinka gives Jefferson, boy, you talk about a bad blow. And that was it.
The ball at the 17-yard line. First down. Dickey throws, and it's caught by Lofton for another first down beyond the 30-yard line.
You know, they talked about Thompson should have been thrown out of the game the other day in Detroit. This is just as flagrant because there was no question about the fact that he gave him a shot with the elbow right in the face above the shoulder pads. It could have been hurt very seriously.
Now here's the pass to Lofton out to the 33.
Yes, Lofton goes like he's going outside, breaks inside, and the ball is delivered perfectly. Jerry Holmes defending on the play, 1st and 10, Green Bay Packers.
7:51 left in the game. Here's another pass play. Dickey to the sideline. Incomplete. At the 48 of the Jets. He tried to get the ball out to the young receiver Epps. Looks like the Vikings are in good shape in the fourth quarter. 28-7 over the Bears. Bobby Thompson was covering on Epps. And a close game in the rain in Atlanta, fourth quarter, 23-20. And also New England laying it on to Houston, 29-7. We have 7:45 left here. And it's 2nd and 10 for the Packers.
The way they're playing defensively, it looks like they ought to be able to throw the ball to the backs here some, or inside.
Oh, it's caught in midfield for a first down by Lofton. And a flag is down back across the field on the other side.
They're very concerned about the outside people, and the middle area looks like it's very vulnerable. There's a penalty, however, on the play against the Green Bay Packers.
So instead of having the ball at the New York 49, it'll be a 5-yard penalty, making it 2nd and 15.
Bob Schnelker calls the play for the Green Bay Packers. There you see Bart Starr trying to offer encouragement to his team.
The ball at the 28-yard line. The ball at the Green Bay 28. We have 7:38 left in the game.
Bart Starr talking to Paul Coughlin that time, trying to make sure that he's aware of the illegal formation.
Green Bay trailing by 2 points, 15-13. 2nd down and 15. Jefferson is out of there at the moment. He was hit as he threw the ball. The pass is caught nonetheless by Eddie Lee Ivory. And he is still going, and he gets a to duck out of the air and picked up a first down.
Here we see it again. Dickey back in the pocket. Look at him. Gets the ball outside Ivory.
Neal gets a piece of him as he throws.
Yes. But look at the good move Eddie Lee Ivory makes. He goes to the inside. Defensive back slips on the play and gets up the field for a first down. A beautiful effort. Great run by Ivory.
6:50 left in the game. High formation and a give to Ivory. Outside. And he picked up about 9 yards on that carry. He was tackled by Schroy and Blinka. And a flag goes down, I believe. I can't see the flag. The PA announcer said a flag has been thrown. We have a face mask violation against the Jets. So instead of getting the touchdown at the other end of the field moments ago, they now see Green Bay, and after this penalty yardage is marked off, they'll really be knocking at the door.
And of course, you know, the critical thing here is there'll be a lot of second guessing about the fact that the New York Jets did not.
Number 54, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Blinka again.
Did not go for the field goal. That's certainly going to be a factor here, the way this game is going at this particular moment.
Green Bay trying to pull it out of the fire. The ball at the New York 37 with 6:44 remaining in the game. Jets leading by 2.
Look at the right side over there.
Dickey swings it out. Ellis breaks one tackle and gets good yards. Harry Ellis got some yards. Stopped by Lance Mel, the linebacker.
He hit the vulnerable area that time, Jack. They were double covering on the left side. There was 1-for-1 on the right side. They threw it out there and they had some running room. Bart Starr showing. Here he is again. Here it is again. Throwing outside. Makes a good move. Ellis does. Goes inside and takes it up for another nice game.
It was a pickup of 6. 2nd and 4. Dickey is swarmed under. He avoids it and gets back about to the line of scrimmage. He lost the yard.
Strong safety blitz Troy, number 48, was blitzing on the play, and Dickey was very lucky to get back close to the line of scrimmage where the play was originated.
5:57 remaining in the game. Walt Michaels probably still buzzing about the play calling down when it was 1st and goal. And looks like Buffalo's got another victory and Baltimore is still without one. Third down coming up. 3rd and 5 for Green Bay, and Dickey comes to the sideline. Timeout is called with 5:43 left in the game. When we resume, the Packers have the ball at the New York 32. It's 3rd and 5. Green Bay trails by 2 points.
Ballet lessons, summer camp, orthodontists, tuitions. All these years you've been doing for others. Now it's time to do something for you, for the two of you. A beautiful new 1983 Cadillac. And it's all you hoped it would be. In comfort, ride, and luxury. Isn't it time you did something just for you?
Best of all, it's a Cadillac.
It was born over a decade ago in the finest wine-growing regions of America. It was created from the finest wine grapes that could be grown and brought to perfection by the most experienced winemakers in the world. It is the extraordinary white wine that has shared more of the best of times than any wine made. The wine? Gallo Chablis Blanc, America's premier white wine. From Ernest and Julio Gallo. All the best.
Well, depending on the outcome of this game, the postmortems probably will revolve around the fact that the Jets passed up the field goal chance. They'd like to have that 5-point lead now, wouldn't they?
Usually, Jack, you have to have a rule of thumb. You can't get involved in the emotional scheme of what's happening in the game. Usually, if you have a yard or less than a yard, you go for it. If you have a yard or more, you kick a field goal, and that's usually standard. But evidently, they felt they couldn't make it, and even though they didn't, could be a problem as this game goes along.
Here's a delay to Ellis. He's pulled down. Pulled down by Buttle, the linebacker, on third down, and they just wanted a few more yards to get him closer to field goal range. It's fourth down. It'll be 32, a 47-yard try if they try a field goal, and they will. Stenerud's, a little rain falls, a lot of rain now. Stenerud's longest field goal this year is 37 yards. This will be a 50-yard try. Stakowicz will hold. Trying to go ahead. Green Bay trailing by 2. High snap. They get it down. A line drive. It is no good. It just went under the crossbar. It just went under. And now we have 4, 5, 6 left in the game. He gave it a good try, and Starr tries to pump him up, but the ball goes over to the Jets at their own 32.
El Dorado. It began with a simple idea. Combine the sportiness of a custom personal car with the comfort of a great luxury car. And America fell in love with it. And now its finest expression ever. El Dorado 1983. Time to fall in love again.
You're a big guy like me. People always want to see just how strong you are. So after this arm works, this arm always relaxes with light beer from Miller. The light's got a third less calories than the regular beer, and it tastes great. What I like about it, it's less filling. So when you're in a hot match like this, you can't afford to get filled up.
You have the time?
Yeah. About 8:30.
Yeah, thanks.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Next.
Next Saturday, it's one of college football's greatest traditions, the Army-Navy game. Be a part of the classic next Saturday on CBS Sports.
As far as the people at West Point and Annapolis are concerned, the whole world stops when Army plays Navy, and they will meet in that traditional rivalry Saturday, starting at 12 noon Eastern Time, and you'll see the game on CBS. The Jets have to hang on to the ball. They're at their own 33. Freeman McNeil gets a couple of yards. Well, they started from the 32 out to the 35. Wingo made the tackle, number 50. And now we have 4:40 left.
A lot of time left. With 4:35.
15-13, the Jets leading the Packers. Stenerud really drove that ball, didn't he? It just went under the crossbar.
A little low. Look at Washington, 13. Philadelphia, 9.
And next week, the Redskins tangle with Dallas, and a lot of folks will see that game on CBS. Todd going to put it up. Throws it short. It's caught. Very close to a first down by Scott Durkee. With Wingo making another tackle, and they can always count on Durkee. Augustiniak, who caught the ball, the fullback. And it is going to be third down and a yard. There's Stenerud, who just missed that field goal a while ago.
And Stenerud needs 15 points to overtake Jim Bachman as the third leading scorer in the history of pro football. 1366 points. Bachman's got 1380.
Third down and 1.
Looks like something right.
Augustiniak, the big fullback, gets a first down. He came blowing out to the 47.
Good surge by the offensive line of the New York Jets. Alexander Powell, Fields, Baltimore.
Here's the first final score of the day. Buffalo wins over Baltimore 20-0. Harvey and McCoy, the last tacklers for Green Bay. We have exactly 3 minutes left. On their own 47. Jones and Walker to the right. Green Bay has been stymied here in the half. A flag goes down as the quick tackle is made. Green Bay has been shut out in this second half. Let's check the flag as Butler made the tackle. Number 77.
I'll tell you, the way those Jets play with those linebackers, it's tough to run against them. You have to have a special kind of a package.
Well, it was first down, and now offside.
And there's no question about the approach must be to throw the ball, just like Green Bay has tried to do.
Offside, offensive right end, penalty declined, second down.
Second and 10. Well, second and 9. They gave the ball carrier a yard.
You know, as much as both teams have thrown the ball this afternoon, Jack, either one of the two teams have run many draw plays.
No, they haven't. Minnesota popping it to the Bears 35-7. Count on second down. Augustiniak caught it, fumbled. Green Bay has the ball. Green Bay has the ball. Augustiniak had it. He was carrying it low. It was pulled away by Mike Douglas and recovered by John Anderson. Anderson, 59, got it, but there was Douglas again to knock it away.
He's amazing. He's all over the place. Here we see it from the I formation, and Augustiniak is leaking out to the right side, breaks inside, the ball is thrown low, he makes the catch, but the ball is not put away, and as he's hit, he fumbles, and Green Bay has possession, first and 10.
2:35 left in the game. And Green Bay has to move the ball. They're at their own 48. Dickey's going to put it up. Lofton caught it, first down. He is out of bounds at the New York 37. The clock continues to run. Now they stop it. Jerry Holmes was covering.
Here we see Lofton making a move to the outside. He had Holmes turn to the inside, his knees to the inside. As a result, it's difficult to make the play, and he has a first down. First and 10, Green Bay. And remember again, field goal would win the game for the Green Bay Packers, make it 16-15.
2:10 left in the game. First down at the New York 38. Dickey to Ivory. It's open, and Ivory gets big yards inside the 35-yard line. He got 5 or 6 yards. Stenerud anticipating his entry into the game. There he is, and now we have the 2-minute warning with 1:57 remaining in the contest. Abdul Salam, Lance Mel made the tackle. When we resume, it'll be second down and 4 for Green Bay at the New York 32 with the Pack trailing by 2.
NFL's most valuable player, brought to you by Apple Computer. 1957. In his very first pro season, Cleveland running back Jim Brown leads the entire NFL in rushing and is named the league's most valuable player. Brown goes on to win a record 7 rushing titles in 8 years and retires as the game's all-time leading ground gamer.
My Apple is my manager.
There are more people in more places doing more things with apples than with any other personal computer in the world.
Apple Computer. Produktion, Kontrolle ohne den Apple unmöglich.
And of all these people using apples, most had never touched a computer before.
This is my apple.
Apple, the most personal computer.
The New York Medics are tending to Bobby Jackson, their cornerback. He is being helped to his feet at the moment. We have 1:57 left in this game. Second down and 4, Green Bay at the New York 32 after recovering the fumble by Augustiniak a while ago. Early on in this game, there was an interception that led to a Green Bay touchdown. Now, what will the fumble lead to, if anything? to move the ball to get within field goal range.
Well, they got a one-on-one over here with Lofton.
Ellis is hit for a loss. Lance Mell, the linebacker, number 56, about whom Hank Stram talked early in the game. A flag goes down. Let's see what the flag is about.
Well, you talk about penetration.
1:47 left. They're going to tear this place down if they walk some yardage off against the Jets. They put the ball down at the 39, a procedure call against Green Bay. They'll probably, well, they're going to mark it off now and put it back at the 45.
Can you read lips, Jack?
I'll tell you what happened. There was delay of game after the play, 5-yard penalty for spiking the ball, throwing the ball away. And it's third down as a result, 3rd and 16. Here's another final. St. Louis defeats Atlanta 23-20. 3rd and 16. 1:47 left.
They're going to have to try to get it inside someplace to get a field goal attempt.
Dickey throws it short. Incomplete. He tried to get it out to the running back Jensen. It was a bad throw, and it's 4th down. Jensen, number 33, the intended receiver. And on 4th down, and with 1:42 remaining, they are not going to kick.
No, they've got to keep it going. They've got to try somehow, some way to get points.
We haven't seen that reverse but one time from Green Bay today.
There you see Bart Starr pulling for his club.
The ball at the New York 45. Heavy pressure. And it is caught by Kaufman, short of a first down. On 4th down, and it goes over to New York at their 35-yard line. Greg Buttle made the tackle.
I'm surprised when they threw that ball, Jack, because they had another 5 or 6 yards to go for the first down to try to make a catch, especially with a tight end who is not an exceptionally good runner. That kind of a play is surprising.
There you see the timeouts. Green Bay has but 2. The Jets have 3. 1:32 left in the game. But the last time they had the ball, the Jets fumbled it, and their lead was in jeopardy, but they're still ahead, 15-13. McNeil and Augustiniak in the backfield. Augustiniak slides forward for 3 yards. And timeout called by Green Bay. They have 1 left. Tackled by Anderson and Johnson.
The Jets have 3 timeouts, and of course, Green Bay's got 1.
The basketball action next Saturday. Yesterday we saw Missouri beat North Carolina. I wonder what will happen at Kentucky. The 2 Wildcat teams will play NCAA basketball. Gary Bender and Billy Packer will describe the action for you. That's next Saturday following the Army-Navy game on CBS at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS Sports. There's Lynn Dickey. They may have to travel back home with their first defeat of the year. And they haven't scored in the entire second half, Hank, talking about Green Bay.
And talking to Dickey yesterday, he said if we can do a good job up front, which I think we will do, we've got a great chance to win.
Well, they protected him pretty well, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Compared to last year, where they had 9 sacks, they've done a good job.
If Walt Michaels and his team wins, they'll be 3-1, and so will the Packers. Packers trying to win their 4th in a row at the start of the season. They may come up short.
Both teams playing with a lot of enthusiasm. The intensity level is very high. Both of them have done a good job.
Second down and 8. And the up back is hit again. Augustiniak. He came out to the 39-yard line, and look at those players tangle, and the officials dive in between them. Mike Butler made that tackle, number 77. The official wanted to make sure that the players didn't get any more involved than they did. 1:16 left in this game. Personal foul against Green Bay. Well, that's going to help the Jets get it out of their territory. I don't know who did what to whom, but somebody did something.
And the officials saw it. 15 yards against the Green Bay Packers.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 22 defense. First down.
The call was against Mark Lee, the cornerback. He was in the midst of the players. We couldn't see it on our camera. And the ball is put down at the 47 of Green Bay. This is the final score. The Redskins win again over Philadelphia. Next week, the Redskins have the Cowboys, and you'll have them on CBS. Todd's just going to run it down with 1:13 remaining, clock running. Green Bay has only one timeout left, and they take it now. Well,
it turned out to be the kind of a game we thought it might be, Jack. It was a barn burner.
They've stopped the clock with only 1:08 left in the game. And the line of scrimmage is midfield, second down and 12, so a couple of more snaps of the ball, and the Jets should have their third win. The New York Jets' next action will be at Detroit. As you see, the Packers have no more timeouts, and on a Monday night game, a week from tomorrow, the Jets will play the Lions. Green Bay, if they lose this one, will be trying to bounce back in their game against Buffalo in Milwaukee next Sunday. Right after this game, scores and highlights of all the other action in the NFL today. Tonight on CBS commences with 60 Minutes, followed by Archie Bunker's Place in Gloria. And it's the Jeffersons, and One Day at a Time, followed by Trapper John, MD. All tonight on CBS. Here, the Jets lead Green Bay 15-13 with 1:08 left. They have the ball at midfield, second down and 12. The Jet fans love it. Todd's going to do nothing with it. And now Green Bay has to watch it wind down. You can do the same. They'll have to snap the ball one more time, and maybe twice more, depending on the mechanics.
Did you hear about the 49er game last week? Montana went down on the knee like that, and the old quarterback dropped play, and then came up and threw a ball for a touchdown.
And the next time he did it, they really nailed him. They didn't like that.
No, they didn't.
He knelt down as though the play was going to be over, and then he got up and threw it and completed it. Third down, 3rd and 15. Okay, now this will be the last snap of the game. This game is over, folks. This game is over, and both teams are 3-1. And I bet Walt Michaels really feels good about winning this one, because he would have really been vulnerable with regard to the 4th down call when he passed up the field goal. A field goal which would have forced Green Bay to go for a touchdown to win it.
Yes, there's no question about that. He has to sigh a great big sigh of relief. Not have to worry about all the squeaking people would have done about that.
Hank, I want to ask you about that distance for Stenerud, 50 yards. He's made some that length before.
Oh, yeah, no question about that. But it's a little easier to kick on synthetic turf than it is on natural grass, because the footing is a lot better. But sometimes, on grass, you're going to slide a little bit with the left foot. Here we see Walt Michaels, and he's got to be very, very happy about winning this football game. And he just said, this will make you old in a hurry. And I know what he means.
Well, the Jets, there's Richard Todd, the Jets shut out Green Bay in the entire second half. Green Bay led at the half, 13-6. Brent Musburger is coming up right now on CBS. Welcome, everybody, back to New York. Irv and I have got all the scores and highlights and a very special guest. Lawrence Taylor of the New York Giants will be talking to us live in just a few minutes. But first of all, how about a scoring update now for everybody? Minnesota, behind Tommy Kramer, has taken complete charge of the Chicago Bears. After Jim McMahon threw a touchdown pass in that game, Tommy Kramer threw 5 for the Vikes, and now they're ahead 35-7. 2 minutes to go, fourth quarter, Metrodome. Cincinnati has finally stopped the Raiders. It is 31-17 in the fourth quarter. Artificial turf, nasty weather conditions, short turnaround after Monday night. All of them ganged up on that Raider attack, and they could not get on track against a very talented Bengal team coached by Forrest Gregg. Washington and Philadelphia. Many of you watched this game. The Redskins now 4-0, 13-9 over the Philadelphia Eagles. Dick Vermeil and the Eagles sink to 1-3. Buffalo and Baltimore. This final was in 20-0. The Bills win, and now the Colts under Frank Kush, they are 0-4. St. Louis and Atlanta. This one went right down to the final buzzer. Mick Luckhurst hooked a field goal that would have tied it and sent the game into overtime. Instead, the Cardinals, paced by O.J. Anderson, win it 23-20. Houston and New England, both teams with new quarterbacks today. Steve Grogan and the Patriots hold on as the Oilers behind Archie Manning rally, but they come up short 29-21. And finally, many of you watching this game, the Jets over the Packers 15-13. And let me echo what Jack and Hank have just told you, because Walt Michaels has really held off the second guessers by winning that game. If the Packers had won with a field goal after Walt passed that one up inside the 5, well, I wouldn't want to see the headlines in New York tomorrow. And speaking of headlines, the man who made them all on Friday, Lawrence Taylor of the New York Giants. Nice to have you with us here. Lawrence, so far you've had to play 2 quick games after the strike. You're a linebacker involved in all of that action. How are you physically? There was all the questions about whether you guys could come back and play football. How's it going?
Well, physically, I feel pretty good, and most guys on the team, it's just nice to be back and playing football again.
You know, I was fascinated by what you said about Billy Sims. I want you to tell the audience, how good do you think Sims of the Lions is?
Well, I've seen a lot of backs in NFL, and I've had the privilege to play with a lot of them, but I think Billy is one of the best I've ever seen. The way he moves, the way he can cut on a dime, he's surpassed for nobody in the NFL.
Speaking of running, you didn't do a bad job for a guy with a bad knee. You stay right here with us. We've still got a lot more coming your way as the NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment. We have a final score in now, and the Raiders have lost for the first time. Cincinnati 31, the Raiders 17. Now, we're going to come back and show you all the highlights and talk some more to Lawrence, but right now, we want to go back to the stadiums because they've got some interviews for you. So let's go to Washington and Shea Stadium. Gentlemen?
Yeah, Richard, with the score 50. Yeah, Richard Todd and Hank Stram asking you a question here about the 4th and 1. Was there any consideration at all about going for the 3-point play at that time?
No, I think that we wanted to get the touchdown because then we would have been ahead by 9 and they'd had to score twice to beat us. And plus, if we didn't make it, they had to have a 99-yard drive to even get a score. So we were, we were pretty confident that was the right call.
You had to feel good about winning any time that you win, but you have to feel very good about winning this game this afternoon.
Well, I think, we really didn't play that well offensively. We had a lot more chances and we didn't take advantage of them. And our defense really came through, and it was a total team effort, but we can play a lot better.
Why didn't you feel that you didn't move the ball any better than you did, Richard? Any special reason?
Well, they're a very aggressive team, and they caught us, and I think the first half we didn't have that mental preparation that we needed. We really weren't into the game. The second half we came out, we did a good job, a better job.
Mark Gastineau, I was surprised. We talked about this yesterday out at training camp and talked about you being double teamed and maybe triple teamed. I was surprised. I didn't feel that they did very much of that during the course of the game. They did on a couple of occasions, but not as often as I thought they would. Were you surprised?
Yeah, Hank, I was very surprised. In fact, a few times I was coming out and I was kind of anticipating the double team, but it didn't happen, and I should have had a lot more pressures, but I didn't, and the whole sack exchange as a unit did very well, and I'm very happy with the way the game turned out. The offensive The offensive unit did, I thought they did great. We won, so that means that they did good. So overall, I think you have to give credit to everybody, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. And on to Pasadena.
Mark, one of the other things we talked about during the course of the game was the fact that your linebackers are doing such a great job. It looked like they performed terrifically well here this afternoon.
Yes, everybody performed really well as far as linebackers go. Greg Buttle had an exceptional game. And Lance Mel played super. Stan Blinka, everybody played a very well game on the linebacker core, and the safeties held it up. The safeties held it up, and that enabled us to get back there to the quarterback.
Okay, congratulations to both of you, and good luck from here on in. Thank you, Richard. Thanks, Mark.
Perform.
Welcome back to New York. I'm Brent Musburger with Irv Cross on my left and Big Lawrence Taylor over here on the right, in case Irv and I need a little help getting through all these scores and highlights. We got a lot of final scores and a lot of action coming your way. So let's get started now. Chicago and Minnesota. And Tommy Kramer, tendonitis. What tendonitis? 35-7 now. The Vikings even their record under Bud Grant at 2-2. And the Bears under Mike Ditka, well, they sink now to 1-3. But Jim McMahon had the Bears on the board first. Emery Moorhead, the tight end, that was a 50-yarder. But after that, it was Kramer and the Viking attack. Watch now, slot left. Beautiful move by Sammy White. Draws one-on-one with Rashad taking the cornerback a little bit deeper there, and that knotted the game all up. And Kramer was not finished. Here he was coming back again.
This time, Joe Cinch to the tight end, taking a block down inside the 5-yard line, sneaking it from 1 yard out.
And again we have Kramer, this time rolling out of trouble in the Metrodome, going deep downfield, and again it was Sammy White, this time for 65 yards. And Kramer pulls out, looks for Sammy, who caught his second touchdown on the game, and you got to wonder, where was Ahmad Rashad in that attack today?
Well, you know, it's sort of like in basketball. You always go to the man with a hot hand. Apparently, Sammy White had somebody in his hip pocket today.
All right, and of course we had a final out of Cincinnati. Marcus Allen and the Raiders were stopped by Forrest Gregg and the Bengals. 31-17 was the final in that game. Nasty weather conditions down there in Cincinnati. It had rained. It was a wet field. Now here is Kenny Anderson of the Bengals. He'll go to Rodney Holman in the end zone for a touchdown, and the Bengals were up by 7. As for Jim Plunkett, a quick turnaround after that tough Monday night comeback against San Diego. This one's picked off by Ken Riley. He hauls it back 53 yards for a touchdown. That is the 53rd career interception by Riley. Tops in the NFL. But Plunkett wasn't finished. Cliff Blanche got open on this play. 34 yards for the touchdown. It was 14-10, the Bengals over the Raiders. Plunkett back again, this time going to Marcus Allen for a 14-yard gain. They stopped Allen from scrimmage. 8 carries, no gain, so Plunkett had to throw the ball to try to get him some room. Now it's Anderson. He'll be forced to scramble here, and he does indeed. From 20, Augustana, he can still leg it into the end zone for 11 yards and a touchdown, and so the Bengals would dearly love to get back to that Super Bowl and try to win it this time. All of these are final scores again. Washington downing Philadelphia this afternoon, 13-9. We're going to ask Lawrence Taylor about Joe Theismann after you see these plays right here. There's big Harold Carmichael and Dick Vermeil. It's been a tough season for him. Now here comes Charlie Brown. He's caught a touchdown pass in each of the Redskins' 4 games so far this year. 65 yards on this play right here by the young man who's out of South Carolina State. Now it was Ron Jaworski after a tough first half, trying to bring them back against this rugged Redskin defense that has really picked up the pace as they stop Louis Giamona. We told you Wilbert Montgomery was going to play. What did we know? He didn't play at all. Finally, it was Harold Carmichael at 6'8", beating the smaller cornerback and getting on into the end zone for a touchdown that made it close. Then with time running out, down to 1:50, Jaworski working to the sideline, served up the interception. Tony Peters, and that stopped the Eagles' drive. And after that, the Redskins simply took charge of the football game, and it was a long, tough afternoon for Ron Jaworski. And Lawrence, what about Theismann now and the Redskins? Unbeaten, you've gone up against him. How good a quarterback is he right now?
Well, Theismann is such a great athlete, and also he's intelligent. He can drop back and roll out of the pocket and scramble and hit the open receiver. So he adds a great dimension to the Washington Redskins team.
Lawrence, as a linebacker, you're so active. Are you conscious of someone like Theismann as you make your move in? Do you kind of have to hesitate to make sure he's not going to try to come around you?
Well, a lot of time when I rush, I like to go inside, take the inside, and most of the time I can run the quarterback down if he tries to scramble out. But against Joe, you have to stay outside because you never know when he's going to try to break the pocket, and he can cause a lot of trouble.
Boy, a big doubleheader game next week. Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. You better get done early so you can watch that game, Lawrence. We will continue here on the NFL Today in just a moment. Back to the scoreboard, and this could be a very long, tough season for Frank Kush, but if he keeps it up, he's got a shot at John Elway. 20-0. The Bills down the Colts. They are now 0-4 on the season. Atlanta and St. Louis. As many of you know, Atlanta had a chance to tie it. Mick Luckhurst missed the field goal at the buzzer, and the Cardinals win that one by 3. New England and Houston. Both teams led by new quarterbacks today. Steve Grogan gets the job done. 29 over Archie Manning and the Oilers. They're 21. And finally, the Packers and the Jets. Build is the game of the day, and it lived up to its reputation. It did, except for the kickers. They kept missing extra points and field goals. And here's a man you could be hearing a lot about, Philip Epps, a world-class sprinter. He got open twice for Lynn Dickey and scored the Packer touchdowns. But Richard Todd is a rapidly maturing quarterback. And Lamb Jones, another world-class sprinter, he gets open for a touchdown. And Bart Starr knew that he was going to need some help. And he got it here from Mike Douglas, who intercepted the ball and got it back down to the Jet 24-yard line. And you know the Packers story. They got Lofton, they got Jefferson, they got Ivory. They were drawing all the attention. So let's go back. And Philip Epps, a 12th round draft choice out of TCU, still another touchdown. But then it was the winning touchdown. Mike Augustiniak from 5 yards out. He got the score. And Lawrence, I got to ask you something. The Sack Exchange, they get all the publicity in this town. You ever get jealous all that ink and all that attention they get?
No, the Sack Exchange is a pretty good defensive line, I respect them, but I feel we have a good defensive line also and good linebackers. There's not a guy on the Jets team I would trade for anybody on our team.
Yeah, you told her, of course, this is Giant City, right?
You got it.
Okay, let's get back to the scoreboard. We still have some other scores to report because, of course, we have some games that have just gotten underway. The Los Angeles Rams, they can't be any worse. They're scoreless now against the Chiefs. They are in the first quarter of that game out in Anaheim, and the Chiefs have just scored and added the extra point. 7-0. It's the first time the Chiefs have ever played the Rams out there in Los Angeles. The Broncos right now have kicked the field goal. They lead the Chargers in San Diego 3-0. They are in the first quarter of that game. And again, these are contests just underway. The Seahawks with a field goal. How about that over the Steelers? The Seahawks' new coach, of course, is Mike McCormick, and he is trying to win for the second time this season. And so we have one more. The Saints and the 49ers are scoreless. They are in the first quarter of that game. The Saints 2-1. The 49ers 1-2. Now, next Saturday, the real season begins and ends for two college teams. For the two military academies, Army and Navy, all the other games this year have been mere training maneuvers. Next week, when they go at each other in the traditional war, it's for keeps.
All those that like to give the big blue team their undying support, like to beat Army 6 years in a row, like to have the West Point football team disband and get a big piece of mule meat this weekend, answer by saying aye!
Of all the rivalries in college football, none is as spirited as the one between Army and Navy. And this year's battle, the 83rd meeting between the cadets and the midshipmen. In the 40s, Army dominated, one of the greatest college football teams of all time, led by Heisman Trophy winners Doc Blanchard and Glenn Davis. Then the Navy started to come back under quarterbacks like Roger Staubach.
The night before the Army-Navy game, I really could not sleep. The only game my whole career that I could not sleep the night before the game, I was that nervous. It was a good, healthy nervousness, but all I heard about was Army-Navy plebe year. Here I was a starting quarterback. The only time in my history of athletics that I was that nervous before a game where I couldn't sleep. It was a big game, 102,000 fans at one time in the old Kennedy Stadium, and it was a big deal, bigger than any Super Bowl I ever played in, as far as that one particular moment in that one event.
There'll be a lot of sleepless nights this week as Army and Navy get ready to play for bragging rights and a lot of pride.
We know that we've got to do it it's a matter of pride to us now, and we're going to do it.